Hello, everyone. Welcome to Culture of Gaming's Power Up Podcast, episode 34. I'm your host, Taylor, and Andrew's finally back.
I'm back. I'm alive. You don't have to worry about me. I've survived everything. A cockroach, you can't get rid of me.
All right. We are rejoined by Aidan, who was with us earlier in the week to discuss Gamescom.
I know. I'm just like at this point, like a permanent fixture. I feel like I've been on all the podcasts lately.
You started competing with Matt in terms of attendance now. Yeah, and then
I'm claiming for that spot.
Okay, and then Anthony is of course here also.
As usual, I'm always here, so you can't get rid of me that easily.
Yeah. All right. So, Andrew, what you been up to lately? What you been playing?
There's only one game that matters right now for me, and that's Dead Cells.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Very good. I don't know how much you guys have talked about it, but it's very good, and everyone should play that game because it's like Rogue Legacy, but better. If you like Rogue Legacy, I recommend it highly.
All right.
Yeah.
So
I kind of like. I'm the one who reviewed Rogue Legacy for us, and I kind of retroactively regret giving it an 8. Like, I kind of wish I can just go back and bump it up a point.
For Dead Cells?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dead Cells is so good, man.
Because I fell to it so much more like once I like finished playing it for review, and I'm just like, oh, this is so good. Like it's the most addicted I've been to a game in like some while.
What?
Yeah, the combat is just so good.
Okay.
And like
Oh my God.
mixing and matching the, like, oh, you get an ice bow this one time, and I don't like the other one I have, and like so you're just relying on one thing, and then maybe next time you get like something else you like, and the other one you like, or sometimes you just get the perfect combination of weapons, and you're just wrecking everybody, and it's really fun. And I've just got past my first time going into like the castle, I want to say, or something like that. I can't remember what it's called. I beat the Timekeeper.
Okay.
So I beat the Timekeeper finally, and then I'm in the castle. And then like I got into a place where it's just like 2 elites were there, and I'm like being like infected by something, and I just died. And I was like, well, that was.
Sounds about right.
I was mad because I was like, dude. But it's super cool with like permanent upgrades. Like you get the health, like the health flasks. I just got the 3rd health flask, so it's cool because you're getting progression. You're always moving on. You're always usually getting something, and whether that's either getting better at the combat or learning the enemy patterns, or actually getting blueprints to get new weapons. Or
awesome.
It's really good. The loop is really good. Like I was saying, I beat Rogue Legacy like probably like 6. Maybe upwards of more than 5 times I beat Rogue Legacy, and I love that game. And that combat in that game is not good at all. It's just like whack.
I can see that.
I love Rogue Legacy. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's very good. But like if you look back at it and you look at the combat and how like it's just about movement and not really like actual combat, and it's not real combat. You have like one attack and your little side attack.
The combat in Dead Cells is so good. I love how it's so fluid.
And the way you're just like dropping on things, and then like just combining everything. It's very good. I'm playing on the Switch, so
okay.
It's been perfect for me traveling right now because I've been traveling every weekend. Yeah. And just you sometimes your runs are 5 minutes if you really screw up. Sometimes they're like a half an hour if you're doing pretty well. So it's good. It's a good it's a good playing game. You can just sit there and grind it out. I will say the Switch version. Probably not the best place to play it, I'll be honest.
Okay.
I'll randomly get like frame drops pretty bad where it's like, oh, boom, you're in the next, like you're just in a different spot than you were.
Yeah.
Like,
oh man.
That's what I heard.
It can be pretty bad occasionally. Like not so much that it like bothers me that much. But I haven't had it happen to me in like a really high intense situation yet. Yep. So if it did, I could see people getting pretty mad.
Yeah.
I've heard that they're working on a patch. So we'll see. I don't know, but I really like it, and I think it's a great Switch game because it's it's like I said, it's like half an hour there, and you can just put it down, or if you're in the middle of a run, you gotta do something, you can just pause it and come back to it later. So super good game. Everyone should play it.
I wish I had it on my Switch so bad, but like I already have it on PS4, so I don't want to spend that money.
I feel like I've missed the hype train on this game here.
No.
Yeah, so do I a bit.
It's
still,
pretty,
no,
it's
it's never
like
too late.
Yeah, I would definitely get it, and it's cool. It's got a lot of like you don't know what's going on exactly. Like I don't want to say like Dark Souls-esque because everyone says that, but it's
Right.
like,
I would say it's pretty Dark Souls, the combat.
well, the combat a little bit, yeah, because it had like, oh, a little exclamation mark will come over their head and you can like dodge it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I meant
Okay.
as far as like lore and stuff. Like you just walk into this thing and it's like it just talks about like there's
Yeah.
like a dead dude and your guy's talking about how they died or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's a-
yeah.
Surprisingly funny game.
I don't know how I feel about that stuff. All the like your guy's just like, ooh, and you're like,
Yeah.
and there's just like a guy impaled next to him. He's like thumbsing up, and you're like, what? It's this weird like disconnect.
Insensitive.
Okay.
I don't know about insensitive, but it's just like you're a dude with like a green face and one eye or whatever. So like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's whatever, but it's just a little goofy. Like it's just this.
Yeah.
I guess whatever. I mean, so
Yeah.
that's like my only qualm with it. Is that's like the frame rate's not great on Switch, or not frame rate, but like it drops frames.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like the goofiness of like the main characters, kind of like
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't affect the gameplay or anything. So whatever.
I will say the only reason why I know about the name is the whole like Philip Mewson thing about it. That's the only reason why.
That's
Yeah.
I will say that's unfortunate that this game will be wrapped up in that for as long as
Like-
games
Mhm.
exist.
Mhm.
At least it give them this like spotlight it may not necessarily had before, but yeah, it kind of sucks because it does deserve to stand on its own.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this game wasn't early access for a long time, and people were like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
and praising it and such. So definitely had people watching it for a while.
Yeah,
Okay.
you should definitely play it.
Okay.
Yeah. Play it. It's very good.
Cool.
All right. So, Aidan, what you been playing this week?
I'm just about like finishing up. Like I said this, I think I don't even remember. I'm still like pushing through We Happy Few. I'm probably gonna start writing up my review like tomorrow for it.
okay.
It's kind of yeah, it was like a whole last minute thing. I didn't intend to be playing it, but it's not. I mean, since it's like not under embargo or anything, I guess I can talk freely about it. It's already out. I'm not a
Sure.
big fan of it. Like
Yeah?
I love the atmosphere and the storytelling, and that's definitely like its best aspect. But actually playing it is not that. I'm pretty sure I haven't really had fun playing it.
Oh no.
Um,
Wow.
but like I've seen like really like divided opinions on it. Like I see people like really like it, or people just not at all. And
Mm-hmm.
like I said, the storytelling is great. Like it is kind of like I mean, people have been comparing this game to BioShock since it was announced.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I definitely don't go in expecting a BioShock game, but it does have that BioShock element of like kind of elemental storytelling. Like you can kind of find like instead of audio logs, you find these like notes people wrote,
Mhm.
and so kind of like these like clues to like what happened in this society. But yeah, there's this weird crafting mechanic that's like crafting. It's like you just find one item and can turn into another. Things kind of get more complex that you can create items, but then also find blueprints for them. Combat is not good. It just amounts
Yeah?
to just pushing a button pretty much.
Oh
Like
wow.
when you have like a melee weapon, just pushing R2 and just whacking someone with it.
Okay.
Okay.
So, but like I don't know if you like know that much about the history of this game. Like it started out as just this. It was supposed to just be this roguelike randomly generated just survival game.
Yeah.
So, and then that got turned into like a narrative driven game. So there is still some elements of
Survival,
randomly
okay.
generated worlds. Like certain areas of it are just randomly generated, which so kind of like makes it a little devoid of personality in a way. Like some areas are like built from the ground up to be a specific way, but others are like just like I said, randomly generated. So it kind of there is.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I lost my train of thought
No,
for a
it's fine.
second. So and they're like in this, so they also had like they still carried over some weird like survival elements, but it's more like just you'll have different stats, and that kind of affects how you just this like hunger, like in the kind of like or like thirst, and it kind of affects how you play. And then instead of like dying, it's just like, oh, you should probably eat an apple or something, and you'll be it's kind of like a buff debuff type of thing. So
Okay.
like it's definitely an intriguing game, like the whole premise and backstory and the world of it, but just the BioShock it definitely is not. They're like stealth mechanics are like kind of like light stealth, like it's just I mean, I don't want to go on for too much about it since I like already taken a lot of time, but probably like not really that sold on it.
Okay.
So,
Fair enough.
which is unfortunate because like, it's a game that I really had my eye on. But then the more
Yeah.
I saw of it, the more I was like, I'm not sure how I feel about it. And then playing it just kind of not really my type. Not a game I really could get into.
Yeah.
Okay. I will say this
How-
is another one of
Oh, go
those
ahead.
games where it's like it's only on my radar just because of the controversy around it, also with Australia and whatnot. You know that we
Yeah.
talked about a little bit on this show, also. So
How long do you
Okay.
think that game?
Probably like it's divided into different storylines. There's 3 different
Yeah.
storylines for 3 different characters, so they're all the longest. I don't really keep track of time that I play, so but like the first one about Arthur is definitely by far the longest of the story.
okay.
Mm.
It's kind of like maybe like I would say in like the 20-ish hour range, and
Whoa.
then the other 2 are like not as long, but so. I mean, it also depends on how much you actually go in and explore this world, because there are like you can go. There is kind of this open world element, like quasi open world element that kind of just like you can go and explore and look for items and crafting materials or these like leftover notes. So it all really depends on how like much you take in exploring the world when playing it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just curious. I know there was 3 storylines.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So Anthony, what have you been up to?
Yeah, just bits and pieces. I was actually looking at. I was trying to figure out like, I've heard a bit about the skate games and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'd love to get back into them.
Skate 4. When?
Skate 4, yeah, and it's not on Steam, so I'm like, oh well, blah blah. So then I'm just scrolling through, and then I found like actually a snowboarding game, or like a snow simulator, I suppose you could call it.
Okay.
That's in early access. It's free. And I haven't really played many like ski or snow sport kind of games before. This one seems to be quite intriguing. Like it's fully free. It's in early access. I haven't fully released it yet. And it's fully open world. Like you can just drop down and go wherever you want. And it seems to be absolutely awesome. There are some glitches, like the snow go through your snowboard, and like, yeah, if you hit the tiniest of rocks, then you fall off. Which is a bit crazy. See, and it's got like ragdoll effects, so it's pretty funny.
Wow. Okay.
What was the name?
Yeah, I was
Snow.
gonna ask that.
It's just called Snow.
Oh, it's just called Snow. Oh,
Okay.
okay. I see. That's it.
That's gonna help
Clever.
for SEO.
That's clever. Though.
Yeah.
The whole skate thing, Snow.
Yeah.
I get it. Good.
So, but yeah, it seems to be quite intriguing. I've also been playing some Ocarina of Time and streaming some
You've
of
been
that.
streaming that, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, streaming that.
Now, are you
and
doing
that's
full
going quite
speed run
well.
mode with it? Got the Chinese text loaded up? Go full speed mode?
Not quite.
Okay.
Quite. I'm not that
Have you
experienced yet.
have you beat it before?
No, never beat it
Okay.
before.
Oh,
I played
wow,
it like
okay.
7 times, and I've never beaten it. I've just
What do
gotten
you-
to a point, and I'm like, I can't be bothered.
I'm with you. I've done the same thing. I've launched it and been like, just like a tree that's talking to me. I don't really care anymore.
I love
What are you
Ocarina of
playing it
Time.
N64.
on?
I was playing on N64. He's playing it on N64.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's not so much that you got trees talking to you and all that. Like I love the whole how it's mystic and all that kind of thing.
Mhm.
It's just you get to a point where it's just like the dungeons are never ending, and it's you got to do this and then do 4 or 5 things in the dungeon, and it takes you 4 hours, and it's like, oh
Man.
stuff it, I can't be bothered.
Y'all
I
act
don't-
like you'd never done a Zelda game before.
I was like, that's just a Zelda game.
Yeah, it's like-
I don't think I've ever beat a Zelda game.
Really? Okay. It's like trees
Wow.
talking, pretty much the norm. Okay.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I just like, I feel you because like, they're just so slow. For me, they're very slow, and I don't think Ocarina of Time holds up particularly well.
Okay.
Like, controller.
I still
Control.
The
love.
3DS remake though. Have you played the 3DS remake?
I don't
Okay,
know.
that is like
Oh,
that's like
man.
the best version of
That's
that game.
right.
It's
I
like
could see that.
is.
Yeah.
because it was like turned it into a modern
Oh
context.
man,
can
that's
see
right.
that
I need
helping a
to
lot.
play that. I forgot I had that. Okay.
Yeah.
It's-
No, it's like
It's
seeing
much
Anthony
better on
stream it a little bit. I
3DS.
was like, I should go back and play through this game. It might seem fun.
I know.
Yeah.
It's a very good game.
Then I was thinking about, oh, you know, I could hook up like Dolphin emulator with the GameCube ROM because they released Ocarina of Time on
Yeah.
GameCube, whatever. And then it's
Really?
like, yeah, they did.
And Majora's Mask.
Yeah, they did.
Wasn't
and
it
it's
a
like,
pre-order bonus for
it
Wind
was.
Waker?
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah,
wild.
How much? Are those super rare?
I don't think so, but like the thing that
No,
I know
I've
about
seen
my GameCube copy is like it has what's called the Master Quest or whatever, which is like
Yeah.
all the
I've heard
enemies
that
are
before,
harder
yeah.
and whatnot. Heart drops are lower, and
Yeah, I've heard-
it's like everything's mirrored.
I was gonna say it's
Yeah, I'm
reversed.
pretty
Yeah,
sure it's
everything's mirrored.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Mm.
yeah, and I was thinking it's like, oh, hook up Dolphin emulator and whatnot on my PC, and then I have the little Wii U Smash Brothers GameCube adapter, and that automatically works with Dolphin emulator.
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah.
But you've been using
I
like
mean,
Player 64 or whatever.
me?
Yeah, to emulate it.
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
So I've got it on Nintendo 64. I've got it on 3DS,
Yeah.
and I've got it on the Wii version as well, like the Wii, what's it called, Wii Store or whatever it is.
The virtual console.
Yeah.
Yeah, Virtual Console. That's it. So I've got 3 versions of it, and I'm
And
just
you
like, well, I'd love.
And
Hey,
you've
what?
never beaten it.
Oh no, but yeah, I know. And I'm
Man.
like, well, I want to stream it and I want to beat it, so I'll just do it on PC. And I've got like a USB Nintendo 64 controller and stuff, so it's
Yeah.
legit.
Maybe it'll give you an excuse to beat it now that you like
it
have
will.
a platform.
It will definitely. I'm just gonna stay motivated. And get through it.
What impending doom in the chat says #Poller for life. Okay. I believe.
Yes.
Hip millennial
Fair
there, Aiden. Explain to me what that is.
What was it? Holler for life?
Poller for life. PAULER.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
no idea.
I revoke my millennial card.
No, it's fine. I do know what it is about. I guess it's like I do admit I was actually watching this earlier. There's like 2 big YouTubers got into like a fight, or it's like a drama fight or
that
whatever.
thing.
And it's like they had a
now I
boxing
can-
match earlier today, and I watched
Yeah.
them beat the hell out of each
Wha-
other earlier
why?
with some friends. It was really fun. It was funny. Like it was funny
Okay.
because like it was like really bad amateur boxing.
That's right. Yeah.
It's like I couldn't care less about who they are or what the whole thing is. It was just like
Yeah.
really bad amateur boxing.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, all right. So let's talk about video games again, of course. Yeah.
Yes.
So what I've been doing lately is it's been like a little bit of just a bunch of things. It's like a couple weeks ago I made it through the story of Need for Speed's Payback or whatever, but then I've been like off and on just going throughout the world or whatever. What?
Nothing.
Just
Is it shocking or what?
What do you mean?
Payback.
What do you mean shocking? Like it's just like the story
Like
was
he's a bad.
yeah, the story's it's horrible. Like,
yeah. Why?
so-
What made you decide to do that?
That's yeah.
Huh? What do you
What
mean?
made you decide to play through this? Like, what? Like, did you just see the game and you're like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna play this.
I'd like the
I'm
origin
gonna
like
play the worst Need for Speed game possible.
I'd like the origin like access thing or whatever for like $5
Okay.
a
Yeah,
month
yeah,
or whatever. It was
okay.
like free on there, and it was like honestly, I've been rewatching the anime series Initial D a little bit, and it was like I was wondering. I knew in like the 2015 Need for Speed game or whatever, like the more like open world one or whatever, they have the whole 8 sits Torino thing going. So it's like
Okay.
I've been playing Drift Simulator, and so I downloaded like Payback, thinking, oh, I wonder if that'll probably have it, and it'll be like prettier also, because I was getting bored of the first one. It's like, oh no, they didn't have
Yeah.
it, whatever. But
Mm.
yeah.
Mm.
Anyways,
Is that the
what's
which
up?
was the one you can't pause during?
The 2015 one?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I know about pretty much Need for Speed is like you can't pause one of them.
Okay. And then a little bit of Rainbow Six Siege here and there, also little helpings of that. And then WoW, of course, is I don't want to say it's been less and less dominating my time. It's Battle for
Yeah.
Azeroth isn't fun. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say last week you said you didn't like it.
Yeah,
and
it's just
and you're still
isn't-
playing it.
No, I've been playing it less and less, right? But it's just like
Okay.
it isn't fun. Like
You're waning off of it.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's like I fear if I quit at once, like the withdrawal headache will like kill me or something. I don't know. Yeah,
Fair enough.
it's horrible.
Well, I mean, every time I'm on Discord, I see Taylor, World of Warcraft. Okay, he's still doing it. He's still down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. And finally last night played Overwatch for the first time in like 6 months.
I saw.
Yeah. Played it for like 3 hours also.
Who do you play as? Who's your
Uh,
main?
when I played the game like to any extent, it was Mercy, but
Okay.
they've killed Mercy really hard.
Okay.
Like she's not. Yeah. Huh?
Well, yeah, no, it's been like forever since I actually like played. I don't think I played like since they added Orisa or Orisa like
Yeah.
all that back ago.
Yeah, that was about
And
when I
so-
stopped playing. Also.
Just
so-
not just because I just stopped playing, and so I like So who knows? It's probably gonna be a completely different game when next time I boot it back up.
Yeah. But yeah, it wasn't too horrible. It's just like it would definitely be a lot more fun with friends or whatever, like playing it with a semi-full group of friends.
Well, if you like Overwatch, then you should check out Paladins, because that's very, very similar, and it's free, so, you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, that's been what I've been doing, and I also spent like $80 on loot boxes. So yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
Oh, you weren't here for that conversation, were you?
Andrew
Me?
wasn't. No.
Yeah.
We had this.
Why would you do that?
Exactly, I asked exactly the same question.
Just like okay.
Wait, in Overwatch?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like okay, I'm willing to spend like around 60 to 80 on that game per year or whatever, right? It's
So this is just your yearly check-in where you're like, oh, I guess it's that time. About $80 worth is going in that game.
I was
So-
like, there. It's like some of the characters I do really like or whatever and
Yeah.
whatnot. So I'm a mild like collector for it, like for them or whatever.
Fine.
So it's like it's all
Sure.
trying to get all the stuff unlocked for them or whatever.
Right.
What exactly
so-
did you end up getting?
All the stuff I wanted and a bunch of stuff I didn't want.
I would hope so. With $80, you got
Yeah.
almost
Yeah.
every- but
Exactly.
Yeah.
do they have like a special loot box thing? Sorry, I'm out of.
Yeah, they have this event going on. It's like the summer event or whatever. So that's kind of fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, those costumes are so good.
Yeah. And it's like I probably won't spend any more money on it this year. So
Good. Good for you.
I'm probably gonna I'm waiting for the. I mean, I don't think they've announced it yet, but I'm hoping they do another Halloween event so I can
Okay.
buy all my spooky gear, spooky loot.
spook.
I'm sure they will. I don't think
Yeah.
they'll pass that opportunity.
no.
Another $100. And
Nerd
keep it-
Awaken
keep
says
the
do
trend
a
going.
culture of gaming boxing match. Okay.
Huh? Someone asked who would win in
I'm
the
good.
Culture Game boxing one?
I guess like
Have you heard about this thing?
the whole YouTubers that had their boxing match?
We talked about it.
Yeah, we
while
just
you
were
were out.
talking about it a little bit. Yeah, we
It's today, right?
it already
happened.
happened. It already
Oh,
happened.
who won? Who? Do
It,
we know
it
who
was a
won?
tie.
Oh, I thought.
Of course it was a tie.
Yeah.
Boo.
I called it
Boo.
pretty early after the first round too. I was like, "Watch, this is gonna end in a tie. I guarantee."
Was it like embarrassing? Were they like pretty good?
Actually, for amateur boxing, it wasn't horrible.
Okay.
Yeah, like it wasn't horrible. Yeah,
I
but-
was like looking at some of the weigh-ins. I'm like, these guys are pretty ripped, actually.
yeah, no,
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah,
It's
they look
like-
they're in
yeah.
good shape and everything. So
The first like 4 rounds, 3 or 4 rounds, it was really easy to tell who would win that round or whatever. But then it got really muddy during the end.
how many rounds did they go?
They went 6 rounds, like the full 6.
Okay,
Yeah,
I was gonna say that makes sense for him. They were wearing headgear, right?
yeah they were,
Okay.
and
okay.
jaw guard and whatnot, and yeah.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
that's no fun. It should be blinking. What's
I
it
know.
called?
Well, amateurs are required to wear headgear. That's why I was
Yeah.
just double checking that.
Oh,
There.
okay.
So clearly it was sanctioned. It was like an actual thing.
Oh yeah, they hired like legit like judges, like legit boxing
Ah.
judges. They rented out a legit like Manchester boxing
I
arena.
heard not Bruce Buffer, Michael Buffer was there. The guy, the Let's Get Ready to Rumble guy.
Yeah, he was. He was actually there.
Insane.
Yeah.
That guy's. What is he? I guess he needs the money right now, right? 'Cause-
Right. He
Boxing.
did not look super into it.
oh, I'm sure he was just getting a paycheck and getting the hell out.
Yeah,
of
he
there.
was. He was just like, whoa.
So
Yeah.
how did they broadcast this thing?
You had to pay $10 on YouTube, but because
Okay.
I'm not going to give them any of my money, it's like there were plenty of bootleg streams on Twitch.
Oh, I'm sure, but
like-
like I was okay.
I don't know if you were ever on Twitch today and you're wondering like why EA UFC 3 was like the top watched game. That was because that's the category all the bootleg streams had it under. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it was okay. I may or may not have watched NBA 2K17.
Oh, I remember that whole thing.
The playoffs were going on.
Yeah,
It was pretty funny actually.
that was great. Yeah. All right. Anyway, so main site is of course Culture of Gaming. Wow, we burned like close to 20 minutes actually on that intro.
A conversational
Aiden, it's all your
podcast.
fault again.
Aiden,
What can I say?
I'm back and I'm ruining everything. That's my
Yeah,
job.
it's been like how long since he's been on? We got to catch up.
I know exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
So again, welcome back, Andrew. Main site is, of course, cultureofgaming.com. We have a Facebook community group, both for Culture of Gaming and for this podcast, so make sure you're a part of both of those. We have a community Discord, which you can find the link to on our main site, which again, cultureofgaming.com. And Twitter at COG.net, Instagram at Culture of Gaming, YouTube.com. We don't have a cool custom URL yet, but just search us and you'll know it's us. We're like the third people
Subscribe
down.
to us so we can.
Yes, we breach 100 on that thing. We did a cool custom URL. I don't have to do this little qualifier every time. Twitch.tv/culture of gaming. You're probably there now if you're chatting with us right now in listening to us. MySpace. We actually have a MySpace for the
Whoa.
Power Up podcast. It is
No
myspace.com/powerpod. Okay, and do whatever you do on MySpace. I don't know. Do you like? Do you follow? What do you? What do you
You've asked this question every week, and I'm
About
just
10
like,
times.
I'm just going on MySpace now just to see what.
It's like I always expect one of you guys to answer me. That's the thing.
What's the name of the page?
MySpace.com/powerpod.
Put us in your top 8. That's what you need to do.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's
Yeah.
Okay, is that how it works?
I don't know
Yeah,
if
I
you
don't
can do
know.
that with pages. I know you can do that with people.
They used to have.
I
that.
don't know how MySpace works.
Okay.
MySpace looks a
I don't
lot
think anybody
different.
else does.
I don't
That-
want to fire it up. Yeah.
It actually-
It's like let's not go down that path again.
No.
Fine.
It looks a lot different than it did back in 2012.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure 2012. Oh, you're in there. You're a late MySpacer, huh?
Oh no, I had MySpace for 1 year, and then I got Facebook a year later.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about when it
I've
died.
never had MySpace, so I'm good.
It was that weird like transitional period.
Yeah.
We were all there one time.
Anyway, the long and short of all this is that on any one of those places, you can start asking us questions. And if we see it with any sort of immediacy, the place where we will see most things in priority 2 will be the Twitch chat. But you can also ask us stuff by adding us on Twitter and whatnot. Ask us questions that we can answer on the podcast or as we see fit, whether or not it's a dedicated community discussion question or if it's just relevant to the conversation, we'll bring it up. Ask a question, it gets you entered into our monthly giveaway. This month, what did we end up giving away?
We got a $20 eShop gift card.
All right, that is
giveaway.
for all you
Smart.
Nintendo lovers there, and we will announce the winner for August at the end of this podcast. Make sure you stay
Precisely.
tuned
So
for that.
If you join the Discord right now and then ask us questions, then you'll be entered into it immediately. So
Yep.
there you go.
Yeah, get them in. Get them in.
Get them in.
Yeah. All
Use
right.
them imaginations. Come on.
And then, do we happen to know what our prize for next month will be, or no, not yet? Have we not
Not
thought
as
that far?
of this time.
Okay.
Yeah,
That is-
that's a surprise until the end.
okay, that is still to be determined.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right, so little bit change to the format this week. We're just gonna add something onto it real quick, just because it happened. Gamescom 2018 has been the past like 6 some odd days or so, and if you guys watched us, what was that day? Wednesday? It was Wednesday, right?
It was the day after. It was the 22nd, I think.
Okay.
So I can't. I'm bad at math.
It was
Or
it was
not math,
Wednesday. Yeah.
Bad
was
dates.
Yeah. Anyway, it was
Yes.
Wednesday. We did what's it called? We did a massive special edition of Power Up regarding Gamescom because that's when all the news was like really out and everything for it. All right, we were there for like 2.5 hours
That was
discussing
so
everything.
long.
We got through a lot. Like we got through all the things we wanted to talk about and everything. So yeah, make sure you go check that out if you want to catch up or listening to all of our opinions on the Gamescom stuff. And so we did have original plans to do like podcasts at the end of each day every week to wrap up Gamescom, but it's like not a whole lot of news really came out after Wednesday. So we put that on hold and
After
just said,
DevCon, yeah.
yeah, and so we kind of put that on hold and then just said, okay, on Saturday on Power Up normal episode, we'll just do a little bit of a wrap up. So let's see, 3 out of 4 of us were here on Wednesday. So Andrew, what did you think of Gamescom? We'll let you take this one off.
Oh, I don't know. There wasn't a whole lot. I don't think. Like at least like huge announcements.
Yeah.
As far as I can remember.
Like nothing too horribly groundbreaking.
No, there's a lot of cool like little stuff that was nice to know. Like you got, better looks at like kind of Assassin's Creed and stuff like that. But as far as yeah, there's just like some screenshots and stuff. I haven't dug too much into it. I've been super busy.
Okay.
It's been me not as up on it as I usually am. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know like games. I don't know anymore what's going to be a big show. It's so weird because you got E3 and that's obviously usually big just because it has to be big. Paris Games Week is randomly big. We thought Gamescom was going to be, well, it's big in terms of people, but in terms of announcements and such, it was kind of light, which isn't a bad thing by any means. But I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure what this was. I woke up at 7:30 and threw on the Xbox, inside stuff. And then they're just droning on about PUBG for half an hour. And I'm like,
man,
dude, I'm going back to sleep because I don't know what's going on right now. Like, oh, we're putting a practice mode in PUBG. Like, dude, why didn't you launch with that? Like, oh
no, come on, they're doing a documentary on PUBG.
Yeah.
I mean, they already have one of those, don't they? Well, not it's not official. It's from like
Yeah.
Yeah.
third party, but still, I don't know. Anywho, I don't know. Gamescom's cool. I don't know. Remind me, what did you guys think of it? Because I'm a little behind.
Okay, so like, I guess because we expressed our more like longer opinions on Wednesday, let's go ahead and just like kind of for the rest of us here, dudes, like, what was our favorite thing to take out of it or whatever?
Yeah.
So, Anthony, what was your favorite thing to take out of Gamescom?
Too much. Dear me. Probably Starlink stuff because
Okay.
they've announced that they're going to be bringing a couple of surprise characters that nobody knows about.
Okay.
And they're going to be keeping it under wraps until like just before they announce. So it's not just going to be like a Star Fox crossover kind of thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's going to have Ubisoft characters in it as well, apparently. So
Weird.
yeah, we'll see
Okay.
how we go with that. It's like that was something that I was a bit surprised with. And obviously the Nintendo version is going to have Star Fox, and the other versions are going to have. It's going to be like a different character set per console version, I suppose, or per PC console kind of thing. That was a bit of a surprise. Also, something else I can't remember because there's too much. Something. Oh, that's right. It was also another interesting thing was the Forza / Halo crossover event that they're doing.
Yeah.
Which
Oh, yeah.
is
Yeah.
quite awesome. So I'm looking forward to that. It'll
Okay.
be interesting as well.
All right, Aiden, how about yourself?
So I mentioned it. It's the game I mentioned last time. I guess we settled on Wednesday. But Resident Evil 2, what we saw, we didn't see
Mm-hmm.
a whole lot of footage from it, but that game looks so good. I am a huge Resident Evil fan. I'm a big fan of like horror games in general. And like I said, Resident Evil 7 was one of my favorite games of last year. And so I'm really excited to see them continue on this kind of like resurgence of Resident Evil, like kind of like maybe not, I don't know, want to say renaissance, but like kind of just like a resurgence in quality after kind of a low period of the series. So
Yeah.
I'm excited. Like I said, it seems to be a combination of all the best elements of Resident Evil 2. Like it's the base Resident Evil 2 game, which like a lot of people consider the best of the series.
Yeah.
While it's played like Resident Evil 4, but it looks like Resident Evil 7. So because it's in the same engine. So
Okay.
and I'm just super excited for it. I'm really excited for them to go all in on the horror again because like what we've seen of that game, it looks pretty spooky. So I'm really excited to see what kind of changes they made from the original game because obviously the Resident Evil as a series isn't a game that's aged too well. It's still like very much playable, but it definitely not in a modern context is aged well. So I'm interested to see this game in a modern setting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks. Yeah, now that you mentioned, I did see that stuff. It looks great.
Okay.
I want to see what Taylor brings up because I want to bring another game up as well.
All right. So, I'm sure some people will probably tell me to say it's like, oh, the Nvidia new series of cards, but like, I don't want to say I was disappointed or whatever, but it's just like, really type thing with the 20 series is just like, they want to promote like ray tracing type thing. Which don't get me wrong, is cool and everything, but it's like in this state, it's super duper primitive, and also, it's not. I don't want to say it's not what people care about, but it's just like if it was marketed as like the 4K powerhouse card or whatever,
Yeah.
I would have sold me on it, like type thing. Like, it's like yeah. So it's like if the Nvidia would have said it's like you want 4K 144 hertz, here's your card, do it. I'm just like sold.
Yeah,
sure.
Yep, sold.
You
But
said, was it rage racing?
ray tracing.
Ray tracing.
Yeah.
Retracing.
Ray tracing.
Ray
Ray
tracing.
tracing.
Yeah.
I've heard this term thrown around so much, I have no idea what it even means.
All right. So, very consolidated rundown of it is that
Here we go.
so animated movies that are like pre-rendered and everything and whatnot are able to do what's called ray tracing, and which is a very accurate way of calculating light and like shadows and reflections and everything, because
Sure.
it's able to go based off the photons being emitted from a light source. It goes down to that level of detail and everything.
Okay.
One of the holy grails of graphics computing has always been considered, if we could get this level of computation but on a real-time basis, it's like we'd be insane. Like it'd be set.
Okay.
It'd be insane or whatever. Nvidia claims to have been able to do that. So with their new series of cards, which is the 20 series or whatever, it has this new ray tracing technology, which basically it's capable, as long as the game is coded to support it and everything, and provides like all the lighting information it can to the card, it's able to do very accurate reflections and whatnot.
Okay.
Because
Got it.
reflections in games right now are effectively cast the same way shadows are.
Okay.
That's
great.
the thing. So, yeah.
Interesting.
So this like allows it. So it's like if there's a plane flying overhead and so you see a super reflective puddle, you'd see the light plane flying overhead in real time. Whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
If you want a good example of this, check out the Battlefield 5 trailer that they had at Gamescom. And
Yeah.
the dude who was showing that off breaks down like what you can and can't see, comparing the different versions.
Mhm.
Quite interesting to look at.
But yeah, it seems like more the gimmick they're going for with it, as opposed to like it's like people really wanted like a 4K workhorse card type thing. That's what the 20 series had to be, but they just kind of. And granted, we do need to wait for benchmarks, but considering that turning on ray tracing as it stands right now about cuts the frame rate in half.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard they maybe get like what, a 20% or 10% increase in graphical power probably,
Yeah, which isn't stellar.
which is not a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Considering
I
how
think.
long we waited. It's like,
Yeah.
but it's definitely clear to see how much resources at Nvidia went towards doing this ray tracing thing and putting them in this card, as opposed to, yeah,
What I think would be cool is when we start hearing about like the 2060s and the 2050s.
Mhm.
I think that'll be interesting because those are going to be like a good, hopefully a good price point that people can upgrade to and have a solid card, like a really good card for.
yeah. So it got announced that like the 2070, 2080, and 2080 tie all got announced, and
You're right.
the pre-order prices are very exorbitant for the Founders
Yeah,
Edition and everything.
They're very large.
You're gonna be out 1,200 USD if you want to pre-order a 2080 Ti, and
Or $2,000.
thanks for the
you
follow, by the way, mate. But anyway, MSRP prices are going to drop by about 200 across the board. So that's a little bit more of a swallowable pill. Although still, if you want the latest and greatest with the 2080 Ti, you're going to be out $1,000 anyway.
Yeah, that's a lot. I was gonna bring up what's like the Shadows Die Twice. Was it
Sekiro?
Sekiro.
Sekiro? Dude, that game was
Sekiro.
wild. It was
Oh
great.
my god.
Yeah.
Just that
That
dude
looks-
just getting tossed off the mountain. I don't know if you saw that video.
Okay.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
He's like
Yeah,
he's like
some of that.
fighting the dude. And he like pile drives him and then just tosses him.
Yeah, I think I
Uh,
posted that in our Discord.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. And then Hitman 2 getting a bunch of like getting the whole Hitman 1 games in the new engine and stuff. Kind of exciting for me because I love Hitman.
Yeah.
And they also said, you're speaking of like that rendering stuff. The
Ray tracing on Hitman's
ray
head.
tracing. Well, no, like they were talking about you got to be careful in mirrors because like if you're like sneaking up on a guard, like if he's like in the bathroom like washing his hands or whatever,
Mhm.
he'll like see you in the mirror.
Oh yeah.
So it's an interesting, like that's wild. Like that tech is I don't know if that's ray tracing, but cool tech.
Yeah. But other than that, so my favorite thing come out of Gamescom, the Ace Combat trailer. Oh man. I'm so excited. How could you?
I thought that's what you were gonna mention.
Yeah,
so,
how could you?
like,
I was like, oh wow, he's changed his mind. But yeah,
He
it's
needs
the Ace
some kind of
Combat 7
flight stuff.
trailer. Huh?
He's always about flying. Any game that has flying is all
And
about
then I
it.
forgot about flying.
Yeah. But yeah, Ace Combat 7, we got the release date trailer. It's going to be January 19th on console, February 1st on PC. So excited
Alright.
for that game. So excited for that game. All right. Anyway, so let's go ahead, get right into the gaming news. All right. Andrew, how about you start us off? People want Xboxes. How can they get them now?
Do you like Xbox?
I
No.
mean, I haven't played one since the 360. Can't really tell you.
Would you like a new Xbox?
Yes.
I would.
Yeah. Why
Well,
not?
let me tell you. How does the low price of $35 a month for only 24 months sound?
Interest free?
I think so.
I would assume. I would hope so.
Interest free?
No, I think so. I'm pretty sure it's just free.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Xbox and Microsoft, they're doing the whole like payment plan stuff, which I think has been thrown around. I think they did that before actually
Oh, okay.
on the 360 on not maybe worldwide, but in some markets they did that.
Yep.
So now they're bringing it over to worldwide stuff. So you can get an Xbox One S. Let me double check the price. The One S for $22 a month. And it comes with Xbox Live for 12 months, for only a year.
Yeah.
So out of that, so you might have to re-up. Oh no, it's 2. It's just kidding. It's 2.
Okay.
You get two years of Xbox Live, and you get 2 years of the Game Pass,
Oh
which
wow.
is their like series of their stuff and all that.
It's like
good
their
stuff.
streaming service.
Yeah, like they're
Okay.
you
They're
download the
Netflix,
games
kind
and
of.
stuff. So both of those, you can get the Xbox One S $22 a month. You can get the X for $35 a month, and it actually comes out to being slightly cheaper than if you were to buy all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like a la carte or whatever you want to call it by itself. So that's interesting. Fun way to teach children about the monies, I guess.
The monies of the world.
Yeah. Like, hey, can you afford? I can afford $35 a month.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's cool because it is an affordable thing that if I was in like high school or whatever, I probably would have done.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Like
Yeah.
I could like work even if or whatever. Like if I was a kid and I was getting allowance or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$20 a month or something, or
That's
whatever
not
you got.
bad. That's
Yeah.
not really bad at all.
Yeah.
No, it's especially if you're just going for the 1S.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I think
Check
that's a
that out.
solid price. Yeah, I think it's a totally good deal, and it obviously they're trying to get you into like their
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you,
There's- their
where are you
ecosystem,
finding
yeah.
the info for this? I feel like
So
I've
I-
seen it over here.
Sure, I'll throw it in. I have an article up from Games Radar right now.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
written by Connor Sheridan.
I also
Okay.
found one from Business Insider too.
Let me post
So
Yeah,
like
that.
it's like a story that like few sources are reporting on.
And link
Mhm.
is into the chat to the article in case the audience wants to read it for themselves. This is similar to phones. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
True,
Yeah,
yeah.
because it's like phone bill for phone is like increased by X amount per month or whatever, right? Yeah.
Right.
Depending on what phone you
Yeah,
got.
this is actually probably maybe around what I was paying for my phone.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
I don't know if they let. I mean, I forgot. Like, it's been 2 years since I had my phone, but I don't know if I'm actually paid off on the phone yet, though.
Okay. Fair enough.
The issue is here. It's once the 2 years have gone by, then you get to keep it.
Right.
So you don't have to turn it in or anything. Whereas I know on phones sometimes it's like, oh, you can turn it in.
You can upgrade.
Yeah, so just be
you
clear,
can
like,
upgrade. Yeah.
all right, this isn't like a lease like you might get on a phone or a car or anything.
Right.
And this
No.
isn't like a financing thing that you would get for a car. This is more as just like because there's no interest, right? So it's just
Right,
like it's more like I'd almost say it's like a subscription type thing.
Yeah.
Almost. It's almost like a
I-
subscription.
I am curious though how they would like if you missed a payment.
I was going to bring that up. It's like, do you think Microsoft will hire repo men or something?
Yeah.
My question was like, how do you pay for this, or like how do they charge you? Like, do you get a bill sent to you? Like, do you have to give them like your card
yeah.
information so they take it out monthly?
Will they garnish your wages?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking you probably have to sign up with a valid like card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're just gonna bill that card every month, no matter what.
That'd be the same as Word or like Office or something like that. It's $10
Yeah.
a month, and then it's same with this. It'll probably go through the Xbox.
Yeah.
I
forgot,
The Xbox website.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot
Um,
Microsoft already deals with subscription
Yeah.
services. Like,
Well, because they
for a
could shut
second.
off your subscription, but can they just shut? They can't just.
they can't take away your console.
Not
I mean,
gonna
they
come knock
could.
on your door and like rip the console off your TV, right?
I mean,
I
okay,
mean, they
so it's
could they could turn off access to Games Pass, and
I would
they could enter
yeah.
live and access Games Pass membership. So, but yeah, like you said, you still have the console. So
Yeah, I'm curious how that.
I'd
would work.
imagine that like these consoles that they're loaning out, I don't want to say loaning out, but like are under the payment plan or whatever, they're probably MAC addressed pretty hard so that
Yeah.
it's like they keep track of it really well, and it's
probably.
like I'd imagine like if you were behind on payments, you were to turn it on and it would like connect and do its whole thing and whatnot, that they would be
yeah.
like, yeah, you can't play this, my dude.
Right,
Yeah.
but they still have their $3 or their $2 or $500 box. in their
Right.
house.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I mean, they probably, like you said, they probably are. It's probably going to be a situation where they just automatically take the payment out of your
That's
Yeah.
what I'm
thing.
saying.
So like, because like, so if you don't have that money, they're still going to take it out, but you are just
In debt with your
Yeah.
You're just in trouble, right?
yeah, you're
over-
just
Yeah.
in debt. So like,
you're
don't
overdrafting or whatever.
yeah,
go into
imagine
debt,
being
kids.
in debt because of your Xbox, because of an Xbox.
Yeah.
Like I overdrafted because of Xbox.
I'm sure there's worse things people have gotten debt for. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, I mean, 20, like it's, but either skew like $35 a month isn't really that bad. There are some things that cost more than that they have to pay, and so, I mean, it's like you said, if you like the Xbox One X alone is like $4.99, and then add on Games Pass, and then Xbox Live, that is a lot of money to drop at one time.
Yeah.
So it is it is nice that you're still paying essentially the same money. You're saving a little bit, but it is nice that you like don't have to pay that all at once.
Yeah.
Well,
particularly over here, because I don't think they offer this over here.
Oh,
I
really?
can't,
Okay.
I can't find
Yeah.
like anything on their site about it or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, like usually over here, it's just the retailers that do that. Like you might go to JB Hi-Fi and then you get an Xbox One X, and then it's like $900, and then you put it on a payment plan, and then bang, you're done.
Oh, okay.
That is, however, done with interest. But
Oh,
over here, it's going to be quite expensive for people, so it'll be like $55 a month or something,
man.
probably.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Man.
So-
So this is a US only thing currently.
As it
Yeah,
stands now, yeah.
Yeah.
I could see them expanding it to other like if this
Countries,
takes off.
Yeah.
Like I think this is mainly aimed at, like I said, like if I was in high school, I think this is aimed at the high school crowd,
Oh, yeah.
which is perfect.
Well,
Um,
then, if that were the case, I'd probably, if they're going to do it over here, they'd probably for an extra year. So like 35 for 3 years, maybe. Instead of
Sure.
2 years. So
Yeah.
that might work.
Well,
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, Microsoft has been kind of in that like this. They earlier this summer, I don't know if it's still. I think it ended, but they discounted their Xbox One. I think it was just the S, but like it was the 500 good one you get for $199.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
It's like insane. So
You
I mean,
can
they're
find
definitely
a good deal on those for sure.
Yeah.
Occasionally.
yeah. So they're definitely. I mean, so I think it was only a limited time. I think it was like two. I can't remember, 239 or like 259 for the for the 1 terabyte one. So they've definitely like been trying to make their Xbox Ones more accessible. I mean, the price alone, the base price isn't bad at all for an S, but they definitely trying to get more people. I do think it is interesting that they are doing something with the X, because a lot of people, when they announced the price, a lot of people were like, you can't charge that. How can you charge that much for a console? Like, no one's going to buy it. So it is interesting to see them kind of make the Xbox One X a little more accessible for a wider
people-
audience.
It's not blowing people out of the water though, right? Like Xbox One X isn't like that.
It is over here.
It is about $100, like hardware wise. It is about $100 more expensive
Oh,
than the PS4
I'm sorry.
Pro.
I meant like
okay.
sales wise. I don't think.
Oh,
I
okay.
think it's doing
Oh, yeah.
good. I mean, it's not the S is beating it. But it's still doing. It's
Yeah.
still doing fine on its own.
Okay, because you just don't hear much anymore from Microsoft on sales
Right.
because they're so far behind.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd
They
be
usually
curious.
like are kind of like bundle them together, like
Mm.
X and S. So
Oh, I see.
Let's
makes
see. So just to catch up on the chat a little bit.
Ah, dear.
KSI1, don't at me. Boy, Logan is God. It's an older meme server, but shuts out. Lol. Do these dudes talk to chat or not? KSI with the diss track, they do. Yeah, like we'll talk to chat, but if it's relevant to the discussion, like we're talking about Xboxes. I don't want to bring up an amateur boxing match in the middle of talking
Hey, the
about
Xbox had a fight with PS4.
Yeah.
if KSI was the PS4 and Logan, or is it Paul, or whatever, I don't know their names. What's the guy's name?
Logan.
Jake Paul
Oh, yeah.
was the Xbox.
I know what I'm
Apparently
talking about.
KSI is winning for one. There you go, dude.
True fact.
Yeah, I can't believe that. I still
Okay.
can't believe that happened. Anywho, yeah, what a weird thing that we live. What a
It's just like, oh man, I need a drink. You know, with this whole thing, I too enjoy spending $500 on 5-year-old hardware. Woo. Okay. So realistically, this to me kind of makes me seem like Xbox is in its death throes, so to speak. Like they're opening they're opening this option up
Mm-hmm.
just because okay, by the time you get it all paid off and everything and whatnot, by the time like they actually launch this whole thing, and by the time you get it paid off, we're probably gonna start seeing announcements for the next gen of consoles.
I think they're gonna be out, some of them, by that point.
Yeah,
Because like, when do
maybe.
these do you know when they actually? I don't know if you read the article, when they actually like are gonna start rolling this out. Because like, I mean, the next generation probably is gonna start, like, it's looking like it's gonna start 2020. So
I thought
that is.
wasn't that whole thing with the PS5 2021 or whatever that we were going to hear.
It's. I mean, obviously a lot of this is like kind of just speculation, but I mean, we're definitely getting. I could see an announcement start as early as next year.
Yeah.
So,
Arctic Mule, you are correct.
Yeah,
PC is king.
king,
However, we do have to address the rest of the peasants. So unfortunately,
Well, it doesn't help
that's
when you
what
call
we've
them
got to-
peasants.
Well,
Yeah.
Hearts and minds here, man. Come on. Gotta keep the plebs happy. Yeah.
But I mean, this. I mean,
I
it may
don't know.
just, like I said, I think we're gonna. I mean, Microsoft already said they are working hard on the next Xbox. So they.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this may just be a way, like, to just get Xbox One. Just get Xbox One systems out there, because I mean, they do.
They want to get rid of their stock, basically.
Yeah,
I
there
think
is
that's
like,
what it
because
is.
I mean, there is an argument to be made about like buying a console at the end of its life, because
Yeah.
you have the whole library already available to you, and usually at a cheaper price too. So
I don't know. This
I don't-
is super compelling to me. Like,
Mm.
because. Or no, go ahead. Keep going. Aiden.
no, I mean, so yeah, I definitely like. I don't know if it's something I would. I mean, it's actually, I could consider doing it, because
Yeah.
although I don't know, I kind of would rather just drop like the whole, probably however much it costs on an Xbox One S, because I don't have a 4K TV, so I don't really
Sure.
Mhm.
have a desire for an X. But I don't really necessarily need live, because probably most games. I mean, okay, I probably want it for Halo, and then but Games Pass is like kind of. I feel like you kind of need to have Games Pass if you want to play Xbox games, since it's such a good deal, like, of what it is right now. So I don't know. I don't see any really fault with it. It actually seems like kind of cool that they're doing something like this.
I think it's definitely a cool thing. However, if you at all have a PC, this point is just there's no point in this if you have a PC.
Unless
Because
there
you
are
can
some
just-
games like
I-
you're just really willing, or it's like really wanting to play on Xbox, then
I
like.
guess, but like I
Yeah.
said, if you have a PC, you can just probably
Halo.
get that stuff on PC.
And that's the
Right.
thing. Yeah, no, a lot of like Xbox exclusive games are on PC. So
I think
Yeah.
they're all coming
yeah,
out.
they're all.
Yeah.
So, like for me, like who has a pretty decent PC, can run games well enough. Or like PUBG. PUBG sucks, but like I'm sitting here and I'm just like, well, I don't. It's not enticing for someone like me, but like younger people
Yeah. Like,
who may
yeah.
not have the cash to drop $200 right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the only problem is you get locked into this. Oh, this is going to cost me $500 total.
yeah.
You know, so if you're, whatever, like if you think you can afford it for that long, then yeah, go for it. But
So
like,
yeah, I mean, to me, this like the whole marketing thing of what Microsoft did with the Xbox One X is absolutely insane. They've kind of gone after the more higher end gamers who can afford $900 to $1,000 over here. And to me, it's kind of a desperate move because they're not selling enough One X's kind of thing. And this might
Sure.
just be a way of them saying, hey, realistically, we want you to buy a One X, but we're going to tag or like put the
Right,
One S
exactly.
onto it as
Yeah.
well for like a cheaper option. And sure, it is only $10 more a month or whatever for a One X, and they might be dropping the price and severely doing that. So
Right. So
that's-
like
yeah.
one. This was all good instruction and everything, but keep in mind, Microsoft hasn't actually announced this yet.
oh,
No.
right. Let's
Yeah.
throw that back out there. So this is like a weird,
This is.
I mean,
all but confirmed type of thing.
it's
Yeah.
it's a thing, like, it's gonna happen, but like it
Right.
just isn't
Might not
a
happen.
thing yet. So like, this is all technically speculation.
So
Yeah.
who
that
knows?
we're
Yeah,
talking.
exactly.
But I mean, I could, like, I'm going back to PC, but like, I am someone who just, I don't have a PC for various reasons. Most of them are like space considerations at this point. I
Sure.
don't really have a place I can put one, but
Fair enough.
I mean, consoles, it's easy enough for me to just pop in a console in
Oh,
my
yeah.
TV, in my gaming setup. So I mean, like, I don't have an Xbox just because of financial situations, but I've been considering jumping into the Xbox
Sure.
ecosystem soon. So I don't think this is gonna be something for me personally, like I said, because like I would rather just drop the money because like I don't really want to be locked into that, but
Right. That's
Yeah.
the
yeah, it
problem,
is.
right?
But it is like a pretty sound financial option because it's not like anything absurd. Like we said, 30 even like $35 a month, maybe a little high in like the monthly price range, just like compared to like other subscription services, but it's still not terrible.
Right.
Like for a thing that's essentially like, I mean, $500 for a console is a lot
Yeah.
to spend. So
No, I still think like the high school point that was brought up is like great
Yeah.
or whatever. Because like if you're a high school kid or whatever, that it's like you might not have to worry about say like a Netflix subscription or whatever, and you definitely or it's like in at least 99% of cases you definitely have to worry about like other monthly bills and whatnot. And then
Yeah.
like it's like $35 a month. That's not horrible or whatever type thing, or even
Yeah.
as low as 22.
This
Yeah.
brings
Or
me to the
even-
next point, though, is like if, like we talked about it a little bit, like if Microsoft comes out with new stuff within these like 2 years that they're doing this, they launch at the end of 2018,
Oh, no.
2020, the new stuff comes out, and you're like, well, dude, I'm still locked into my contract,
Yeah.
with
But-
my Xbox.
But this is actually a great marketing plan on their point because then they can say, hey, if you want the new console, we can upgrade you. Kind of
Oh,
thing. If they
yeah.
It's
do
possible,
that.
and it's possible.
And it's
but
only
I-
an extra $10 a month for 4 years this time.
It's possible.
But,
yeah.
yeah, but I'm gonna say I don't think the people who are gonna buy the Xbox 2 or whatever it's gonna be called like year one, that's not the people they're aiming for because
Yeah.
if people want or the people who are gonna buy a new console the day it comes out, they already did. These
Yeah.
are like you said, these are for people who just aren't necessarily like maybe hard like not hard but like who are necessarily like into the gaming like full into the gaming scene or whatever. Like you said, also high schools, but I think it could probably be a good family thing too. Like a family wants to buy a console for like
Yeah.
and it's like it's just a kind of like a family plan type thing, like paying $35 a month so your family has access to this Xbox that can play games or
Yeah.
watch whatever streaming service you
Media,
have,
exactly.
like so you can use it as because like a lot of consoles are used as just entertainment centers. So like I said, I don't think I mean maybe they'll offer it because I mean all of these corporations like money, but the people who are gonna buy an Xbox like whatever like in 2 years, they're not who Microsoft is worried about for this type of deal.
All right. So chat asks, have we seen Sinking City yet? I guess it's a movie. Haven't seen it.
No,
No,
it's
it's
a-
not.
it's
It's
a
a
game.
game that
Oh,
was
it's a game.
announced at E3.
Was it at
Yes.
the? Okay, I know what we're talking about
It's
now.
the
Yes,
Lovecraftian
I remember
game.
this now. Okay, yeah. I
That was the
watched it.
one on Ubisoft stage.
No.
No, EA, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was-
I think it's a
EA.
is it EA? I thought it was
I thought it was on the
independent.
PC gaming show.
But we have seen gameplay of it.
Okay.
If you want to,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think the gameplay debuted at Gamescom, but
Okay.
so it just recently came out. So you could just search on YouTube and find it. Like,
All right.
but yeah, there is gameplay of it. It's like it's like Lovecraft inspired game with I don't know if Cthulhu is there or not, but it's a horror. It's like a Lovecraftian game.
Oh, this is not what I was thinking of, but okay, this looks okay.
I'd imagine a lot of people are thinking of Sea of Solitude.
Yeah, that's what I
Okay.
was thinking of.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking of. But this
Okay.
looks. We did see
this was at the
I think
PCT
it
show.
was at PC.
Yeah.
This
That was-
is not sure.
Yeah, 'cause I was like, I don't think it's like tied to any of the major publishers.
Yeah.
No,
Mm.
it's just this is Big Ben Interactive Publishing.
All right. So
Who's it?
speaking of things that are deep in the ocean, speaking of things that are deep in the ocean, one thing
Are
that
they
hopefully
deep, though?
isn't is going to be your boat that you're going to use to traverse all the water in Assassin's Creed
Hey.
Odyssey. Anthony,
Heck
how about you talk about the ocean?
So who likes Assassin's Creed here?
I do.
Who's
Yeah.
played Origins?
played
or
Origins.
something
Yeah, I
like-
played Origins.
Andrew, come on.
No.
Okay. I'll just say this: my significant other works at Ubisoft as a public relations person, so I'm just got there. I have not liked an Assassin's Creed game since Assassin's Creed 2.
That is very
Fair
fair.
enough.
That is very fair.
Yeah, were you like drawn into Origins at all? Like, were you
I
consider?
haven't played Ordnance. I want to try because I've heard a lot of praise about it. I have
Yeah.
Revelations, I think, still in the shrink wrap.
Did you
wow.
play 4?
No.
Black Flag? Oh
Like-
my goodness.
But I mean, I definitely think if it like, I mean, Origins already old. Like, I think because they made Origins like as like kind of a relaunch, but
soft
like
reboot.
Odyssey probably would be Odyssey probably is a solid place to restart too, because it doesn't really seem to be
I may-
directly tying into
Yeah.
Yeah,
Origins.
I would.
I'm-
It's like I'm in kind of a similar boat as Andrew, where it's like I
Mhm.
loved like the first two and whatnot, and it's like Brotherhood was great also, and then what's it called? Revelations was okay. Like it wrapped up Ezio's story and it was good for that and everything. But the game itself was okay.
Okay, so
And
neither
then-
of you have played Black Flag.
No,
Yeah,
I've played.
I
Black Flag.
haven't either.
Well, I played 3, right?
Yeah, 3 was.
And I hated that game so much that I was like, I'm not going to play one of these for a while because this game is the worst. No, it was not fun. It was just really slow and bad, and the combat is not fun in my opinion. And I don't like the traversal very much, which is holding the like, trigger and just running.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. I loved 2
Yeah.
Mhm.
and hated all the others in Ezio's story.
Oh, really?
I didn't
Okay.
like Brotherhood, didn't like Revelation, and I was the same. Like I was like, oh gee, I'm not. If Assassin's Creed's going down this path, I can't be
Yeah.
bothered.
Okay.
Mhm.
Then I played 4 Black Flag, and I'm like, okay, this series is awesome again
Yeah.
because they changed the whole thing up and it's open world more.
Yeah, I will say that it's like
Yeah, go on. Sorry. Go.
no, it's just like so it's like I really love 2 and everything, right? Brotherhood was good, also kind of iffy on Revelations and whatnot, but the Ezio in general, I'd say, is pretty good. Hated 3, hated 3.
So bad.
Yeah,
So
but
bad.
then like 4, I was really iffy on until I got to the ending of the story, and then
Okay,
I was
sure.
really sold on it. But it took like
Yeah.
actually beating it to get it, and then it's like wow, the whole thing with like Unity and Syndicate
was
and went
not
on.
good. Syndicate seems okay.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, I know a lot of
I-
people liked the games before, like whatever the last one was before it took a break.
Syndicate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Syndicate, yeah.
Okay.
I know a lot of people really enjoyed.
I played
that.
a little bit of Syndicate like years ago, but pre-launch. And I was
Okay.
like, oh,
Yeah.
they're doing something a little different.
Yeah.
And like I remember like doing like an assassination mission. Kind of felt a little
Yeah.
hitman like almost.
Yeah.
Like not as open, but a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know like with the Origins if they've gotten rid of the whole assassination stuff, or what. But
Well, they're definitely they definitely made it more of an RPG. It's definitely
yeah,
like
it's like
I mean,
a
Yeah.
Witcher like almost. Now,
they
right?
even
Almost, yeah.
yeah, they even said I can't remember like what it, but they said for Odyssey like they consider it an RPG as the main genre
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
of the game. So they're definitely like kind of retooling the franchise like gameplay wise too.
You're picking up like colored weapons, stuff like that,
Yeah.
right? Like, so I don't know. I like Odyssey looks interesting. I heard they're getting rid of the wrist blades, or maybe you
They
don't
got-
have them and then be.
They got rid
Yeah.
of them in Origins, didn't they?
Oh, they got rid of them in Origins.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, it's Origins was
That
on my
was
radar.
kinda
I didn't play it at launch. I
fun.
picked it up only a few weeks ago, but
a bummer.
I didn't start
Okay.
playing it.
Cool.
But yeah, have we seen the Assassin's Creed movie? I
Yes,
have.
I have.
I've heard it's god awful.
Okay.
It's terrible.
Aiden, have you seen it?
No.
Okay.
Ah, okay.
I tried
I,
to.
I saw it like 3 years ago, like when it first came out, and I was down in
Oh, yeah, it's
Victoria,
like
and
a
I was
2015
catching up with
movie,
a
isn't
friend,
it?
and we're like, oh, let's go and see Assassin's Creed. I didn't mind it, to be honest. It wasn't good though,
What is? Okay.
and it didn't make sense. Like it was just like
Yeah.
here, there, and everywhere, and then yeah, it wasn't good, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't shocking.
Super Mario Brothers movie is best movie. Huh? Video game
Heck
movie.
yeah.
I'll have to download the
I
80s one.
actually love that movie because it's so bad.
I'm arguing for Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
So-
All right. So anyway, what's the big thing with Odyssey's map? Are people disappointed in it, or like what's?
Okay,
Yeah. What's going on?
So Odyssey's map. So Origin's map was 80 square kilometers.
Okay.
I believe it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, 80 kilometers squared. I'm just trying to find the area. This Odyssey's map is 130 square kilometers, so it's 62% bigger than Origin. However, the land mass will be less than Origins, as the majority of the map is sea. So it's kind of blending a bit of Assassin's Creed 4 and Origins kind of thing.
Okay.
It
So it's
does
like-
have a significant land mass in it. Like it's got it's got
sounds like-
3 major land masses in it.
Okay.
And it has over. What was it? Yeah, so it has over 30 islands in it as well.
Okay.
So it's
Wow.
absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
The landmass is divided into many islands and some mainland. On the map, you can see the recommended level, although you will notice that they all say level 48, which means the enemies either level with you, or this was done specifically for the demo build and will change in the main game. The maximum level in Odyssey currently is level 50.
Yeah, I think they were. I was the gameplay I saw. They were getting max builds, so everyone was level 50, and they're all like that. So it
Okay.
could just be a max level thing or a level.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
They scale,
Yeah.
probably makes sense.
Mhm.
So it's basically expand the Origins map, but replace all the sand with water, and then we have Odyssey. That's kind of how I'm viewing this.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm like
yeah.
kind of a little disappointed because that it's like, I mean, it makes sense because like I'm not gonna argue geography
Yeah.
of Greece, but what we've seen of the environments of Odyssey, like especially when you're in Athens, that game looks so beautiful, like so colorful and lush. So I kind of wish there was more of exploring that land, but I mean, I'm sure it's gonna look equally as nice on the water. I'm just kind of like really not that all into naval combat in general in video
Okay.
games, so
Fair
that's
enough.
also kind of like when I saw that at the E3, I was like, oh, that's fine, but like I just want to be able to like explore Greece
Well-
and not have to worry about going on water, which is impossible, to be fair.
Mhm.
But I just want like that the world of it just looks so beautiful. I just wanted like I wish there was more of it. You
Yeah.
know?
Mm.
Well, if you're gonna increase like the land mass or just the map in general, right? You can't have not a way to get around it quickly because if we're
Right.
gonna increase it by that big of an amount, and
Yeah.
horses only go so fast, right? Like it's one of those things. Like how do we
And, yeah.
balance? You know, like of making a bigger map, but at the same time making it fun and like easy to traverse through. Because
And
Yeah.
it's supposed to be historically accurate as well, so, and Greece has a
Well,
lot of
yeah.
islands on it, so
yeah, 'Cause, like,
I
I,
mean,
remember
yeah.
I played Horizon and I was like, that's too far. I don't want to go that far. I don't want to.
Right.
I don't want to play this game.
Like,
I got
Horizon-
to
okay.
Zero
That's the-
Dawn.
Yeah,
Zero
Zero
Dawn.
That's the
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, that's the thing with open world games. Like I just like start in the map and I'm like I'm overwhelmed already.
I just don't want to. My objective's over there. I'm traveling this slow. I'm like, I'm done. Turn this thing off. I don't.
It's like, oh
Too-
god,
too
just
slow.
can't be
I
bothered.
was like I have to walk.
It's just so
Um,
boring. All those in between parts were not great for me.
Okay.
Also, another quick thing is it is going to have like Assassin's Creed 4 ship combat in it.
Nice.
So you do
Okay.
have a ship in the game with archers, and you can shoot other ships with arrows or ram into them. The ship will be an integral part to navigate the game world, and it can be upgraded throughout the game with better javelins, archers, hull, fire braziers, rowers, and more. So
I like it.
yeah, it's gonna cover all bases basically.
Are they just gonna cancel Skull and Bones? Are they just gonna like, never mind? Skull and
Right,
Bones
it's
is
like-
just in this game now.
Yeah.
They should probably, yeah. Anywho,
Also, what impending doom me too? I personally Assassin's Creed 3.
Oh. Okay.
loved Assassin's Creed.
That's a very strong word. You know, love is a very strong
I-
word.
Preferred it over 1 through Revelations. So
So bad, so slow.
Wow. Okay.
It's like
good
it was
luck,
like
yeah.
4 hours before you got to the actual like person you played as.
Even yeah.
Yeah, it was, but
It's bad.
You're right.
it's
Yeah.
And the
part of
whole-
it.
It's not good.
I think it's kind of telling you when it's like the spin-off game they did for like when like Assassin's Creed Rogue came out at the same time as 3 or whatever.
Oh,
was-
the one on the Vita.
Yeah, was regarded
That was-
as
no,
better
that was
than 3.
Liberty.
Yeah.
That was on
Rogue,
console as well.
Rogue came out on 360.
Oh.
While the other ones came
Oh
out on-
yeah.
Okay.
That was
Yeah.
They made one for each generation.
Yeah.
And Rogue was like a follow-up to Black Flag, where well, not a real follow, but like same engine and all that stuff.
Yeah, didn't people like the one on the 360 PS3
It was like
better
quietly
than,
Okay.
better
Yeah.
than that one.
but obviously it was on like an older platform, so
Yeah.
it didn't get the buzz.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was at Unity and Rogue, I believe, right?
No, actually I think I got it mixed up there. I don't know, whatever.
I think it was
Like,
Unity. and
There's
Rogue.
like
Black
60
Flag and
games
Rogue,
in
isn't
that
it?
series.
Is it? Okay. Cuz I know Black
is it
Flag is
though?
regarded as better.
No,
but,
no,
like,
Black Flag. It wasn't Black Flag. It was.
I think it was Unity.
It was after they dropped the subtitles. So, hold on. There's
What?
how many games are we dealing with here? Like there's 16 games in this
So many
series.
games.
So
So many games.
So your
also,
question
like,
is
Liberation
you're
in
asking
there
what
somewhere.
story does Rogue tie into, correct? Or
I know. I was just saying. I'm pretty sure it's like the same, built on the same engine as
Yeah.
before.
okay.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the one like because there's 2 that released on like the same day, but one was for the PS4, Xbox One, the other one was for PS3, Xbox 360.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, that's another thing. All right, so any last thing about Odyssey? I'm kind of excited for it. Like it might not be a
Me
day
too.
one buy for me. It'll probably be a few month later buy for me.
Looks, and I might jump back in Assassin's Creed if it looks
Yeah.
good.
I still need to make
Yeah.
my way through Origins, so whenever I get around to that.
Origins. Later,
Origins
I can
does
see
look. I might have to do the Origins actually.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. Like, I like how they're going even more into the RPG with like character, like you can pick your character and like dialogue options. I just wish it wasn't coming out. And obviously, it's gonna come out in the fall, but this fall already has so many games that I need to like plan for. But I mean, on the
Yeah.
bright, it's kind of like not related to this story, but also is like, I mean, they said they're gonna take 2019 off for Assassin's
They
Creed.
Which is
did,
good.
yeah.
And they're gonna like, so they're gonna like spend that time like investing more into Odyssey, which, so hopefully this is a game that has at least like a not like legs as a la Destiny, but like at least it'll be around for a little bit longer. So I mean, hopefully they'll be like, so like they'll have time to jump in and so I'm just excited to see like kind of like this again, like with like going back to the Resident Evil thing, kind of like a resurgence of Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, and it looks like, I forget where I found this picture from, but I'll try and find it here. But it's basically, I guess there was a hint in Origins or whatever as to like basically outlining the next couple of Assassin's Creed games or whatever.
Wasn't it
And
Japan?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
yeah, there
Japan's
was,
going to be
like,
the one
this
after Greece. Yeah.
Which
different,
I
like-
would be all in for that.
Well, that's what people wanted.
Yeah,
for
I've
so
wanted
long,
like a
right?
Yeah.
Chinese or Japanese Assassin's Creed based game for
like a feudal
while.
Japan one.
Forever.
Yeah.
So,
They
Well,
made
I have
those,
had
like-
a Japanese, Chinese one.
did they?
Well, that was the 2D one.
Okay.
Yeah, they made those like those two. I didn't know if it was Japan or China. They made those like spin-off 2D games.
It was like
it was Assassin's Creed China.
I think stories or something. Yeah, it was like China, Russia, and
Stories.
one
Yeah.
India,
other
right?
one. I'm not sure.
Was it India?
Yeah, I think it was India.
Yeah, or Chronicles. Assassin's Creed Chronicles. I
Yeah.
don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was India, China, and Russia.
Okay.
Okay. I'm still trying to find the thing that I found or whatever about it.
Oh, that image. Yeah, it's like, isn't it some like
It was like glyphs or
like
something
like a
found.
tapestry
Yeah.
or a glyph or something? It's
Yeah.
got like it kind. Never mind, I won't bring it up. But like it kind of reminded me of another game that came out this year where it kind of like hinted at like those things if you guys have played it.
I mean, yeah.
Certain PlayStation 4
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
game.
Ubisoft likes to tease their future games within games themselves. So, like, I mean, there's that whole like, I mean, people think that I've seen speculation like that one game in Watch Dogs 2,
Watch Dogs
like
2, yeah.
like that people are thinking, oh, was that Starlink?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. It's kind of the norm for them.
Well, the original thing was that Watch Dogs 2 was like a the guy who plays in Watch Dogs 2 is an assassin, and it ties into the Assassin's Creed series.
Yeah, it's been
originally
hinted
what it
at
was
that like
supposed to
the hacking groups in Watch Dogs are like
Yeah.
modern assassins. Where it's like,
Yeah.
I'm so
Although you know what, they're probably gonna do Watch Dogs 3 next year, right?
yeah,
Assassin's
probably.
Creed's
No.
taking a break. Watch Dogs 3 kind of steps in, takes that big spot.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought like Watch Dogs. I mean, I possible. Like I thought Watch Dogs 2 kind of like didn't really take
Flopped.
off as they hoped it would.
I don't know. It was a good game though.
It was-
enjoyed
oh,
that
it-
game.
It was a
Yeah.
lot better than the first one.
It was
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
like the Assassin's Creed 1 and Assassin's Creed 2. Like that jump was just huge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like them like confident in what they could do with the game.
Yeah. So and I think if they double down on that stuff, I think 3 could be pretty good.
My biggest
Yeah.
critique for Watch Dogs 2 was the writing.
Yeah, I enjoyed
Yeah.
the characters, but what was so weird, I don't know if I've talked about this before, like you can just whip out an AK-47 and just mow some people
Yeah.
down. I'm like, my character, when I played, I was trying to do like non-lethal, so I was
Okay.
like, no, my character is not whipping out
Yeah.
guns and just murdering everybody. 'Cause that's
It
not-
was so hip. It was
yeah,
so
it
hip.
was a little bit.
Yeah.
There's like a Trump stand-in, I feel like. And,
Yeah.
like
It's
that.
just like I need to.
Or whatever. Like it's cheesy in like a popcorn way, which wasn't
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
like it's better than like the wet blanket that Watch Dogs 1 was.
Oh yeah, and I was gonna bring this up because I've heard like things about Odyssey's story, and Odyssey, it seems like they're hitting it cheesy as well. Like you're the daughter or son of like Leonidas, and like I don't know, it seems a little.
Yeah, I don't know too much about the story of
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed, honestly.
I was told like, oh, you're like the daughter or son of like Leonidas or something like that, and just that already is like too heavy-handed. Like really, you have to bring in like. At what point are we going to see someone get kicked into a pit? I'm sure probably in the first like 10 minutes of that game.
Oh yeah, for
Oh,
sure. There's
no,
gonna
we
be
wouldn't.
there's gonna be so many references just across the board.
I mean, I'm looking up the characters are they originally from wait, no. Oh
From
wait, they actually
Sparta?
no. I thought
Right?
that I don't think that I think
Okay.
they are, but like they kind of like fight.
Okay.
Oh no, you can either choose to fight for either Athens or Sparta.
Oh,
okay.
really?
Right.
Oh, okay.
The
But
first
so I
scene
thought
is
they
gonna
were
be
from
someone being kicked
Sparta.
in a pit, though.
Does it matter
Which
which character you pick? You just automatically get chosen that one. Is that what it is?
No, I think it's like after you like you within at like at a certain point in the
Decides.
story.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Wasn't that kind of in the trailer where he kicks someone off a cliff?
It was,
Oh, I
yeah.
don't doubt
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
There you go.
That was like the
Alright.
first like
That
look
was
at like the
that was
first
a teaser, right?
Yeah, the
You're
4-second
Yeah.
teaser that came out like a day or two before Ubisoft's conference at E3 because someone like leaked it. They're like, "Well,
Right.
see you at E3."
Yeah,
Yep.
didn't they like
Right.
leak a keychain?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was like someone at GameStop.
Yeah, and they
Oh,
at
yeah.
Ubisoft on Twitter. and they were-
Ubisoft can never.
Yeah.
Poor Ubisoft.
They're
never
too
keep
big.
a secret.
They're too big of a company. It's
Yeah.
it'll never be possible.
All right.
Yeah.
So, as far as we know, Odyssey won't be doing like a beta or a demo or anything. But you know what will? Anthem. Aidan.
Yes.
How about it?
So it's kind of a weird story because there's not really much to go off of. It was a quick like interview with VG 24/7, and it was just them talking to the game director Jonathan Warner, and just said, "Well, I'm not gonna like paraphrase it. He asked, "Will there be a beta?" And they said, and responded by, a demo." And I was like, "So like there'll be a demo?" And like, so he asked like, "So is there gonna be a demo and not a beta?" And it just kind of like, yes. So but from what it seems like there is going to be a closed alpha for Anthem, but it's going to have a demo instead of a beta. So which means like I mean to be fair, this whole generation, like the line between demo and beta is kind of
Yeah.
blurred, but
Mm,
when you like
yeah.
say beta, you mean like it's like it implies that it's in like a testing period and like they use it to like kind of tweak the game, but demo it seems like it's going to be a finished product
Yeah,
more
it's
or
like
less.
demo's like a sample of a finished product, at least in
Yeah,
my eyes, type thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is weird because I mean, Anthem is such an online it's an online multiplayer heavy game, so they're just gonna send. So is it gonna be like a certain trial period you can play the game? Is it just gonna be a chunk of the game? But it's interesting that for such a online multiplayer heavy game such as Anthem, it's gonna get like what is essentially the finished product
Yeah.
to test out instead of a testing period for the public, like other multiplayer games like Call of Duty or Battlefield.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea because, like you said, because it is online, you're gonna try to get your friends to play with you, and like, hey,
Right.
Yeah.
you can just download this demo, you can try it for an hour or two, play with me, man, I'll help you out, and then, hey, I like this game, I'm gonna buy it now.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm assuming that's why I do, because EA is in such a funky spot right now. Like,
Yeah,
I've heard Madden 19 is not the best Madden. You look at what's Andromeda was.
Trash.
I don't
2017 was a
talk about
rough
it.
year for E EA.
So they need to
Talk about
get.
Andromeda.
They need to, yeah. They need to like figure it out, and like by putting a demo out and getting like putting as many feelers out as they can. Like,
Yeah,
hey, if you're interested, just download it, see if you like it. Hopefully they buy it,
Definitely.
kind of
Yeah,
thing. So
and, like-
I think it totally makes sense.
and calling it a demo kind of makes it seem more like accessible to the public than a demo, than a beta. Like, I mean, there are open betas, but usually you have to like sign up for a beta or like trial
Right.
beta. Like, demo is just gonna seem like it's available for everyone,
Yeah.
Exactly.
which like it goes back to your point because, I mean, by not even EA, but like BioWare specifically is in like
Mhm.
kind of a mess too. Because
Oh,
even though this is a different studio than Andromeda, it just all ties together. And like this is such a departure from what BioWare was like famous for. Like,
Mhm.
there is so many question marks on Anthem and like
Yeah.
how it's gonna work as a game.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm honestly on the fence when it comes to Anthem.
too.
Yeah.
Just depends on how EA handles it, really. And a demo, I think, is a good idea because they're not excluding anybody, kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So everybody has a chance to see what they're doing and see if they want to buy it or whatnot. But then that could also be a severe issue as well, because if nobody likes it, then
Yeah.
bang.
Yeah.
I mean,
So that would. Yeah.
that's kind of how the whole Mass Effect Andromeda controversy started, was because of people on EA Access. Like they could play it early on Xbox, so that's how it started to trickle out before the game even came out. So,
Sure.
but I mean, like I said, I think BioWare is putting everything they can behind this game because it's such an important game for them. But I am on the fence too, because BioWare, there was a point where BioWare was my favorite developer.
Mm-hmm.
I love
Yeah.
I love the original Mass Effect trilogy. Love the Dragon Age trilogy. Andromeda was I wouldn't call Andromeda a bad game, but it was a disappointing game. And
It's like kind
so
of
like
how I
I mean,
regard
it
The
like
Last Jedi.
killed Mass Effect.
It's kind of like how I regard The
Yeah.
Last Jedi is like The Last Jedi was a good movie, just like Andromeda was a good game, but Andromeda was not a good Mass Effect game, just like The Last Jedi was not a good Star Wars game or a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Andromeda was so technically just hindered, and
yeah.
the
Yeah.
storyline was bad. There's so many things working against it.
Mhm.
Yeah, it didn't even make a good game. Like
Okay.
it did so poorly that they put Mass Effect on hold.
Right.
Yeah.
A franchise that is huge, and this game came out, didn't sell, so it's not even like Star
Yeah.
Wars, which sold.
Yeah.
Star Wars is
Um,
yeah.
It didn't
So that lost a
sell,
lot of money.
and it was
Closed
bad.
the studio. Like it didn't close, but the studio BioWare was it Montreal, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, they essentially got shuttered and turned into a support studio.
Back to
But,
a support
I mean,
studio.
Yeah. So like I mean, thankfully like from like what we hear, Mass Effect isn't dead. Like it's gonna come back. But like
Yeah,
I mean
there was
it's
that
gonna be
interview.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
but
gonna be
yeah.
on hold for a little bit, but the thing is like what drew me into the world of Mass Effect and Dragon Age was like one, I mean, I love RPGs as a genre, but it was like these characters and like you could build these relationships with characters and
Yep.
like build your storyline, and there still seems to be some of that in Anthem, but
Okay.
it seems to like kind of like strip away what made BioWare like what they're known for. But I mean, at the same time, I also want a developer to be free to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Too. Like I don't want them to be shackled by like one
Yeah.
thing and fear changing. But it just seems to be it seems to be changing like a little too much of a turn for them.
Yeah.
To at once.
Okay. And then what were you saying before that? Before we started talking about Andromeda a little bit heavier, what were you saying? What was your original point there?
Me?
Yeah.
What was I? What did I say? I don't even remember.
I don't know. But it kind of got cut off.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, I mean,
Okay.
just because I think it was kind of tying it back to that point about like BioWare being my favorite developer because like Andromeda was such as like a disappointment, especially like I mean, it had to compete with like the Mass Effect trilogy, which is like
Very
such
difficult.
a widely regarded
Yeah.
title. Yeah, and it's like it had a lot of things going against it from the start.
Mhm.
There were people who thought Mass Effect should be like just be left alone, which is like obviously that was never going to happen. But it's like a new studio, but like you also have to compete. You do have to compete with this Mass Effect trilogy, this like influential and like
Yeah.
critically acclaimed trilogy.
Massive.
So
Generation defining series of games.
Yeah.
It's just like,
It-
damn.
it's like kind of a genre defying too. Like
Yeah.
it kind of brought player choice to the forefront
Yeah.
in a way. But and so like there's a lot riding on this game for BioWare and EA in general.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like it is kind of a good thing that they have this public demo out so they can kind of hopefully get positive word about it
Yeah.
soon. I mean, he didn't mention like even like a release like window because like is it going to come out before it launches or like is it going to be the day it launches? So
Yeah.
there's still a lot of
Mm,
question
yeah.
marks around it.
Yeah. Anthony?
Well,
Yeah.
the thing is, it's not so much that I don't trust BioWare. It's more EA. I'm worried that they're just going to slam it full of loot boxes and just stuff the whole thing so they
Yeah.
pay to win.
Yeah.
And the way I see it with the whole Mass Effect situation was, they've done 6 or 7 games that were brilliant. They've done the whole Mass Effect series. They've done Dragon Age and all that. They're bound to make a mistake, and it just so happened that unfortunately Mass Effect was it. And I'm kind of one of those people who's like, well, the original trilogy's over, kind of move on from it, I suppose, and don't kind of extend the series. But then in the end, it is a game series, and they're gonna obviously keep doing it because they need
It makes money.
money to
Right.
keep doing it.
Yeah.
Do you think
Yeah.
the approach they took with Andromeda was probably the best way to approach it? Like, obviously, I don't know who all of you played the Mass Effect trilogy, but just by its nature, you can't continue that storyline.
Right.
Mhm.
So, I mean, pretty much the only way you could keep it going without interfering with what happened in that trilogy, like even what players did, is move it to a completely different galaxy. So
Right.
I think they
Inevitably,
went
we
the
were
right
going there.
approach.
Yeah, inevitably we
Yeah,
were going there.
they made the right approach. It just got. I mean, like you could have a whole another conversation on what went wrong with Andromeda,
Yeah.
like why it went wrong. But
Mhm.
that's not this right now. It is just about Anthem, and kind of BioWare just has a lot to prove with this game. And I do there is a concern too because EA, because yeah, you know, EA's EA, but I think, I mean, I'm not as worried about loot boxes because like they kind of did take a different stance on them post Battlefront 2. Like for Battlefield 5, it's like mostly it's like cosmetic items, and they kind of started to reassess their whole microtransaction, like their outlook on them. So I'm not necessarily worried about that. I'm just worried that it's stripped away, that like everything that makes Bioware games special is going to be stripped away with this game.
Yeah,
Okay.
like suppressed. Yeah,
Mhm.
So to me,
fair enough.
to me, EA's already lost type thing. Like EA can't win with Anthem, to be quite honest. And the reason why I said that is like Anthem can be like a great game and everything, but I think people are expecting too much out of it, and I think a lot of the reason why is just how many other, and this is gonna be, I don't want to say like a diss or anything or a burn, but it's just like I think so many other outlets, and maybe we have two, I don't know, but like a lot of journalistic outlets have run pieces talking about how Anthem is like make or break for EA type thing. When, to be quite honest, that's not the reality of the situation. Okay,
No.
EA is a massive company, and it's like it's like a failure, a considered failure of a game, where it's like a bad game isn't going to sink them or anything. Okay, and
I mean, they
it's
have
like
they have Madden and FIFA. Like that's keeps
Yeah.
that them alone will keep them afloat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like people perpetuating this whole thing that it's like Anthem is like make or break for EA or whatever, right? It's like they're screwed if Anthem doesn't go well. People are expecting it's like either such a really good game about Anthem or a really bad game about Anthem. So, you know, it can be a good game, but even if it reviewed as well as some of the original Mass Effect games did, then like it'll be considered a failure just because people are going to have such a high standard for it. And or if it turns out to be like a mediocre game or whatever, then it's just be like, oh, EA screwed, EA's done. And there's going to be like a much more of a ruckus than there needs to be.
I don't see it as kind of sinking the whole studio. I see break them because it's going to be, can you trust EA as a publisher again, kind of thing. As far as okay, they stuffed Anthem up, so never buy an EA game again. I don't see it as like it's going to make or break them as far as financials. They're not going to have a problem.
Well, it's like, do you know how many times it's like people have perpetuated the whole like never buying an EA game thing again or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Do you know how many games EA publishes?
right.
But
it's not so much buying an EA game again. It's just like, well, if you buy an EA game, you'd expect it to be average kind of thing.
Yeah.
I
See,
suppose.
I agree with you there, but I think it could possibly, like, maybe I'm being hyperbolic here. It could possibly be a make or break game for BioWare because they're already in a bad place with fans when it comes to Andromeda. And if Anthem like doesn't deliver, like, I mean, EA is known to close studios like for really virtually no reason.
Yeah.
So I mean, we saw it with the whole Visceral Games. Like they were making a Star Wars game, and like that all accounts seemed to be very good. Or maybe not. Actually, no, not that very good. It did have issues, but they were making a Star Wars game and they just shut it down, canceled the game. So that's like the extreme end of the system because BioWare is still making it's all but confirmed they're making Dragon Age 4.
Right.
Yeah. But and like Dragon Age is a big franchise for them, but I wouldn't necessarily place this. From what I can tell, see, like this is very much what BioWare wanted to do. They wanted to make Anthem.
Yeah.
So I think this is I don't want to say it's make or break them, but this is gonna be a telling game for what the future of BioWare is going to be like.
Okay. Andrew,
like
what
when
were you
this
gonna
game
say?
launches.
Fair enough.
What were you gonna say, Andrew?
Nothing. I was just agreeing.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so it's like, to me, it's like I don't think they'll win. It's like there'll be no winning with Anthem type thing. Like I really just don't think there will be, just based off.
Fair
it's
enough.
like I would compare it. I would almost say it's like EA's Half-Life 3. You know, Valve can announce like Half-Life 3 tomorrow or whatever. We release it and play it, and everybody will be disappointed with it. That's the reason why they're not making it. Also, or
Yeah,
like
there's
actively
so much hype
developing
for
it.
it and everything.
Yeah, it's like there's
Yeah.
no way to ever live up to the hype. So it's just like,
hmm
yeah, I think
Fair
the
enough.
artificial and arbitrary standard that's been set for Anthem is just too high by this point.
Mhm.
So
From what I hear, like when I've seen accounts of like people play it, I guess it does seem to be a good like as a game, like mechanically and gameplay wise, it's a very good game, like
okay,
gameplay wise. So that's what I've heard. Like, so hopefully, I mean, that doesn't like say about everything else in the game, like the story mode or.
but it's like I
these
almost dare
character
say it's
moments
more
they're
important
praising.
that the story is better if it's a BioWare game.
Yeah.
Like
So, like as I say, like the gameplay is good, which is a good thing, but like, is it going to be the right things that are good? So, like, I mean, I don't want to see story suffer because
Mhm.
BioWare is some of the best storytellers in the industry.
right.
So I don't want to see that suffer for, I just don't want to see it suffer. But I mean, like I said, this game is still not out yet. It's still got a little bit before it's out. So
Right.
who
It's-
knows?
It's not like another 6 months worth of like really good development time. And you know what?
Yep.
That's enough time to turn a game around. You know what?
Oh, yeah.
Do you want I got evidence to support that with? God of War. All right. So, Andrew, you're shaking your head.
You've been on. You've been on it today. I'll give
Oh,
you that.
okay. Thank you.
Good,
Yeah.
good transition.
Yeah. So, during when it's actually happened on Monday when what's called Devscom happened, which is basically all the developers that are around for Gamescom over in Journey, like get together for like presentations and conferences with each other and everything outside the public eye and kind of like
Yeah.
you know, just kind of with each other. They're talking about all the games they developed and whatnot and their processes and everything. The director for God of War 4, let's just call it that, or whatever. It's like the recently released God of War game, said that what's up?
It's like God of War 5.
Oh, okay. Is it 5? No.
Oh, if you're not gonna count, we're gonna count all the games.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
I mean,
Oh,
there's
okay.
3.
Yeah.
There's the other one. I don't remember the name of it.
there was the PSP ones,
Oh, okay.
but like
3 of
So
those.
it's like God of War 8.
Okay.
I'm sure we can just call it God of War, because it'll be
Okay.
fine.
Yeah. No. Okay. Anyway, so it's like whatever the latest God of War game is. Okay. Anyway, the game director for it, his name totally escapes me. Basically,
Or
during
dialogue.
yes,
Oh,
thank
wow.
you, Corey Ballard. He during his presentation, he talked about how they thought things were going okay during the development or whatever and whatnot, and it's like they were really taken back by the scope of the game overall because of how much larger it was than anything they had developed in the past and whatnot, and they thought they could
Yeah.
handle just like internally playtesting it and whatnot, but it turns out that it's like, the game just simply had too much in it that they needed to go to an outsource. They basically called a couple of their other like Sony developer friends and whatnot and be like, hey, who's a decent studio to outsource playtesting to or whatever? And they found one that a lot of them had used and gotten good results with. So they went to them, and the playtests were mixed, to say the least, from what he said. He said that it's like a lot of the feedback from that studio didn't highlight so much as gameplay concerns, but more of just like overall direction of the game. And so it's like a lot of people expressed issues. It's like it made them upset that Kratos was picking flowers, literally, he said. And so he said it's like people were a little bit more upset with the fact that, Kratos was picking flowers or doing more gentle things, so to speak, as opposed to just like murdering everything in sight. And so
Fair enough.
he said that outside of like hiring, it's like he said that the studio, by comparison to the feedback he got from this Sony executive that came in one day, was almost completely useless. And how it goes is that Sony sent a big game dev or like executive over from Japan to go check on how God of War was doing, because obviously Sony had a lot of money invested in God of War at this point.
Yes.
And basically, this exec was in the studio. He played for about 30 minutes, and like he just seemed like very distressed, kind of like stressed during it. And he basically set the controller down like 5 minutes early of his time, and just kind of walked away and shook his head. And then I guess later at a party or whatever, that exec was with one of the more like line devs for God of War and said, it's like, oh, you're working on God of War, right? It's like that game I was horrified at playing that game. or whatever. And
Because
this
it was so brutal, or
huh? No, it was like how bad it was, how bad he thought it was. And so it's like, yeah, and this was
Oh,
6
dear.
months before it released.
yikes.
Yeah. And so they were able, and so the Corey Balrog basically says, that feedback was more valuable to us than the millions of dollars that we had spent contracting that studio out to play
Sure.
test it.
Which is fair.
Yeah, which is fair. And it's like, it really took them back to the drawing board in a lot of ways and everything, because it wasn't so much a concern of like the overall, it was a lot of concerns got raised over the feel of the game. Like, is the combat fun? Is like, does it flow well? Is it rhythmic and everything? And he said that it's like, in the other God of War games that we developed, we dialed in on what he describes as like the flow of combat really well and really easily. But for whatever reason, he thinks that a big problem that the Sony exec had, because the Sony exec wasn't give him more details or anything.
Yeah.
He thinks that, and a lot of other people in the studio agreed with him, that it was just like the feel of the game is off. Like the combat just doesn't flow well. It's just like, it feels very clunky, and it doesn't feel as good as other God of War games. And so, yeah, they were able to re-innovate a lot of things and, nail everything down, get things good and going and everything. He basically said that they rewrote the entire combat system like 3 or 4 times.
Wow.
During this time, which is insane to think about.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like 6 months before the game release, they rewrote.
Yeah.
They are rewriting
Crazy.
portions. Yeah. And so, yeah, and then I guess like a month or so before release, the same exec came in or whatever. And I guess Corey Balrog said that, this time he was smiling. So that made everyone on the team feel a lot better.
There you go.
That's good.
Yeah. And then we all know the story from there. God of War released to wide critical acclaim.
It's very good.
Yeah.
That's a very good game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Super good. Some would say game of the year so far.
So far.
It's my game of the year so far.
Yeah. What have we really had this year that could have?
Dead Cells.
Dead Cells is there.
Is it really up there?
For me personally, yes.
Okay.
It's definitely top-ish games. I don't think it's gonna be my game of the year,
Okay.
but it's definitely gonna be
No.
up there.
Okay. I know Octopath
Yeah.
is pretty up there for me personally.
Octopath's up
Yeah.
there. For us.
Octopath is like a game. It's on my list, but it's like not a game that will call game of the year.
Okay.
But I mean, I'm still holding out for Spider-Man because that's
Okay.
definitely.
Next week, right?
Yeah.
I think 2 weeks.
Oh,
Well,
it's like
kind of.
The
It's
third,
the 7th.
isn't it?
The 7th.
Oh, so Friday.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's like pretty much a week, like 2 weeks ish. But yeah, God of War is. Did you play God of War, Taylor?
I'm most of the way through it. I agree it is a very good game.
Okay.
But like I'm a
Okay.
okay way through it. I'm honestly gonna at some point I'm probably gonna restart it onto an easier difficulty or
Pretty
whatever.
sure he did
Because like I
something
sunk
silly
like
like that.
Surprisingly hard.
no, I
Well, he
sunk
did
like
the city
30
thing.
hours into whatever like the God of War mode is or whatever.
hardest
Like
mode.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like I barely got far. Like I think I just got through the flashback in Alfheim
Yeah.
type thing.
Okay.
And after
Yeah.
like 30 hours. So yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's-
No, and like I'm honestly surprised because like combat is so good in that game. Like it feels like compared to obviously it's very different compared to the other God of War games. Like it's more he's not as agile as he was. Like it's more like he's like more of a brawler
Yeah.
brawly kind of guy, and like but and like more it's like more a little more emphasis on defense, but combat it's like it feels great. Like
Oh yeah.
Very good.
it is like fast paced because no one when the game was announced everyone like was wondering what the combat was going to be like, and it feels like it's fast paced, and that using that axe is like I still never cannot get over that axe.
Very
I
good.
know.
Yeah. Extremely.
Like
Yeah.
I wonder if that exec plate used the axe, because if he didn't if that was like one of the things like that was like kind of he had issue with, like I'm honestly impressed that they managed to get that so right in like that short amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? This is maybe another subject for another time, but is Fortnite this year?
Last year.
Because it's still in early access.
Yeah,
It's
but-
not technically released yet.
I mean, technically, right?
yeah.
Yeah, but they did celebrate their 1 year anniversary, so like
I mean, you're not wrong, but when I launched that game, it says early access in the corner.
Yeah,
of the
whenever like
screen.
1.0 goes off for Fortnite, it'll be considered out, and
So weird that it's not. It's.
I mean
Yeah.
technically but like PUBG was technically nominated when it was in early access, so
It did come out that year, though. It came out that year.
it
Yeah.
did.
Came came out in 2017.
Yeah, I don't know.
See, I am maybe like, I think like when considering game of the year, it's the like you have to consider like for me it's like whatever if it releases like if it's available to play that year and like
I don't.
If
And you
there's
can
a
make-
game of the year, that Fortnite, trust me, is.
Oh no,
the
Fortnite
game
like
of the year.
for gay Fortnite is like the game of like one. It's like somehow it's like become like one of the. It's gonna be one of the games of the generation.
Yes.
So, but
I
like,
wouldn't even classify it as like a game of the year at all. Like, I don't know.
oh, Fortnite's a very good game, but
I
I-
know it's a very good game, but I wouldn't even like. It's just.
but like just like
don't-
If
Well,
it
when you
comes
think
out
of
this
game-
year, you gotta think about it. If it's released
it
this
does
year,
make sense because like when you think of game like, I mean when you say game of the year, that is so vague. Like
I know.
because like no, I know
know,
because
but
like
comparing Fortnite to God of War, like.
but like
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Fortnite is not the phenomenon.
comparing
God of War
anything
is
to
not the
anything.
phenomenon that Fortnite is.
That's
like
just
Fortnite is-
wrong. That's-
I think
Comparing
realistic.
any games is stupid. Silly.
I think like realistically
happen.
contending with like what will be the game of the year, like the big competitors this year. It's like you'd probably God of War is obviously one of them. Okay, there's no way
Yeah.
it's gonna be left another running. Dead Cells maybe. Like I don't know how much.
It's a wild card, yeah.
Yeah, that can be go
Odyssey?
either or.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey that's
Oh,
coming out.
oh, yeah,
this year, so that
maybe.
might
It's
be
competitive
Um,
enough.
big.
RDR2
Dead.
for sure. Yeah,
Red Dead-
RDR2
Red Dead
and
2.
Ultimate Smash Ultimate. It's like
I mean,
think those
Tomb
are-
Raider could make like a surprise appearance depending on like how much of an impact that makes.
Yeah,
Mm.
Spider-Man.
I'm not expecting it to make.
Spider-Man's
yeah.
sure.
I'm not expecting Shadow to make that massive of an impact. Like I just think it'll just be another
No.
good, solid Tomb Raider game, like we've gotten used to, but not really.
I
Just
mean,
like
Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
my
that's
god,
right,
I
that
forgot
came out.
Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
No, Monster Hunter World.
Yeah, that'll definitely
Oh,
come out,
World,
or
yeah.
it's like that'll definitely
Yeah,
be
Monst-
out there. Up
I
there.
No,
know,
Monster Hunter
people-
World is a for sure. Like I forgot that came out this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could see some of that winning somewhere for sure.
Oh,
All right.
God.
A lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
Valkyrie Chronicles 4. Gee, I haven't played one of them in ages.
All right. All right, so I think that about wraps up our gaming news.
Yes.
So we're gonna move really quick into the movie news. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 has been officially put on hold by Disney, and the cast has been released from contract while a replacement for James Gunn is found.
It was sorry. The cast was what?
Released from like a standby contract.
Oh, I didn't know the cat. I knew the crew was. I didn't know the cast was.
Yeah, the cast was basically said it's like
Makes
you,
sense.
you guys can. It's like we know we have this timeline reserved. You guys shouldn't do other movies. Go do other movies type
Sure.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
Interesting.
While a replacement for James Gunn is found.
What?
This is such a like messy situation for them. It seemed like to be. I mean, it seemed to be a decision that Disney made, like very rash decision that they made to fire him.
It was more like knee jerky.
Yeah, that's yeah. Because like I mean, it was like only like the next day after these like
Yeah.
the tweets were made. I mean, they are the tweet like, but like so. I mean, obviously, like I could never see like as much as I'd like James Gunn to come back, I could never see him come back because
No.
Disney's not going to admit they're wrong.
Right.
Like they won't. But this is they dug themselves a hole in this because Guardians of the like especially that since Avengers is like pretty kind of on its way out, just as we know it. Like Guardians is like their star franchise right now.
Yeah.
So
And the ultimate plot twist: Zack Snyder goes on to do GOTG Volume 3, and James Gunn gets
Well, I
hired
mean-
by DC.
Yeah.
And the
I mean, I
ultimate
could see
plot
that
twist.
I could see James Gunn going to DC.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's
But
like,
yeah, that would actually revive them quite a bit.
it's like, hey DC, do you want to know how to make good movies here?
Yeah.
They might get the guy who did Thor Ragnarok because it's kind of along the same like comedy and all that. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Similar. yeah.
maybe. What was
I
his
could
name?
I'm not sure.
Taika Waititi.
Yeah, that's right. New Zealand dude.
Yeah, I could see it happening just because, like, I mean, from what I hear, I think they're looking outside of the Marvel stable. So they, at
Mm.
this point, like, I think they just want they just want someone to shoot this movie. Like, that's pretty much all they're looking for.
Yeah.
Like, they're not looking for anyone who's gonna like make the movie their own. They just want someone to film this movie and get it out of the way.
Right. They'll
yeah.
honestly still use like the script James Gunn had and whatnot.
Yeah.
Probably.
Most likely.
Yeah.
I mean, that because like if they threw out that script, that would be another like who
Yeah.
knows how long.
Years,
Like,
right?
Yeah.
They want this movie out like as soon as possible.
Right. But like I don't to me it seems like Disney, I don't want to say isn't close, but doesn't really not have an idea really yet as to who the new decent director will
No.
be if they're willing to let the cast go off on other acting jobs
Yeah.
as this happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon it's gonna be next year when it comes out easily.
Is it supposed to be this year?
Was it?
Well, it was supposed to start filming in
Okay.
like in a couple months or like early next year. So like it
Mm,
was pretty
yeah.
much all set to go.
Okay.
I think it was supposed to be coming out this year as well, wasn't it? Because Volume
No.
2 came out.
They haven't even started filming it yet.
Yeah.
No, Volume 2 came out today. This year, I mean.
Yeah.
So
It
it'll be
came out-
technically
that came
next
out-
year.
It came out last year.
Late last year.
No, it was this year.
Really?
No, because this year was Avengers.
Yeah, I think they did.
No, it was Black Panther.
Let me
and
just
then-
Google that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Let me go.
Volume 2.
But no, from what like they were supposed like it hasn't even like started filming yet. So
May
this movie
5th,
was probably not.
2017.
Yeah, so this movie probably wasn't coming. It was probably they were probably aiming for like a 2020 release. Cause like, but obviously that's not
Yeah,
gonna happen
2020.
now.
Mm.
But yeah, no, this is like kind of a. I mean, we could go on like I'm sure there's like a whole rabbit hole,
Yeah.
like the whole story, but it's definitely a messy storyline for Disney and everyone involved with this movie.
Yeah. Andrew, what you thinking?
I'm thinking that I don't care about Marvel that much because all the movies are the same, and they probably
Boo.
should get it figured out quickly.
That's a hot
because
take.
They make a lot of money.
That was a hot take. Although I do kind of agree with you. Although I do kind of
Spiciest.
agree with you. Yeah.
Spiciest.
Boo.
All right. So yeah, that's
Um,
like Disney facing their own like decisions, consequences pretty hard there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. I think it's like it does
they made
demonstrate.
their bed.
Yeah, it's like it does demonstrate how much of a knee jerk it was if like they didn't even have someone lined up to do this type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I can't see it living up to hype now, to be honest, because like James Gunn's the guy who's kind of made the series and made it what it is. I can see it
Yeah.
really continuing along that line. Like I think it's going to be, yeah, I don't know.
It is-
Just
yeah,
depends on
they're-
who they get to do it.
They're his movies essentially.
Yeah.
Like obviously, like they're like part of the cog in the Marvel machine, but like of like all like he was kind of the first Marvel director to kind of like personalize his movie,
yeah.
Yeah.
and like so it would be kind of difficult to try to recreate what he
Hmm.
did.
Have you guys
in
ever
Deadpool 2.
watched PG porn?
No.
Excuse me?
Okay. No, you heard me. Have you guys ever watched PG porn? Okay. It's basically this mini series that James Gunn directed. It is
Okay.
it is one of the funnier things I've seen. Okay.
He had a he was like I've seen some of his earlier stuff. Like he had a lot. Like he was like I hate to use the word because I think it's a dumb word, but he was like kind of like he had a lot of edgier stuff like
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah.
By edgier, do you mean good or do you mean bad?
No, it wasn't like I mean I like the movie. I don't know if you heard the movie Slither. It's like kind of a horror comedy movie. Like
Is that the
I think
movie with the
it's-
little things that are going around and like?
yeah,
Movie's
I don't
terrible.
think it's a bad.
The movie's garbage.
I enjoy it. I don't think it's like
Okay.
a great movie, but like
Movie's garbage.
But- he's
I'm
definitely
pretty sure
was
it's
not-
bad if it's the one I'm thinking.
Okay.
Opinions are
I-
subjective, but like
It's just funny the way Andrew said it. That movie's
Ah,
terrible.
I got
he-
the, I got
but he
the-
definitely
I know.
like it's so weird because he definitely wasn't the even when he like Marvel hired him, he was not the family friendly director that like because like obviously Disney has this family friendly image that they like that they like maintain, but like when they hired him, he like even back then like this stuff was a known quantity. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
from what I hear, it just seems like the executive who made this decision had no idea that these things even existed somehow.
Yeah, all right. So, it's like, yeah, this is just simply like, as we said before, it's just like Disney definitely. I don't want to say they.
Has
It's
got
like,
a job to do.
yeah, it's like they probably should have thought this one out a little bit more, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, let's go over into anime news. Crunchyroll, basically like the Netflix for anime, right? Biggest, most popular streaming service for anime. All right. Announces a show called High Guardian Spice, a Crunchyroll
Yes.
original series. And to put it lightly, a storm ensues. Okay.
Uh,
All right, so let's just talk about this a little bit here. There are so many aspects to this. All right, even if you're not
Yeah.
an anime fan, it's kind of easy to understand the economics behind this at least. So
You know, I kind of know, like earlier today, like I kind of like caught wind of it.
okay, I think it's just now starting to hit the mainstream. Then, no offense to you, Aiden, but like I know you're.
I mean,
not
I follow a lot of people like very much in the anime community.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay. But all right, so High Guardian Spice, they released like the first like screen for it or whatever, and like a poster, the art style. The art
Yep.
style isn't even anime, and it's like, it's more of a Steven Universe type art style type thing. So it's like,
Oh, I mean,
all right, it's so
I mean,
it's like,
Steven Universe is pretty anime inspired, though.
yeah, it's like, but that's exactly how they described it also as anime inspired and whatnot. But yeah, it's not like the traditional anime, which okay to me is fine. That's fine. That's all fine and good. The biggest issue that I have, and a lot of other people have, is the fact that Crunchyroll for years has perpetuated that your subscription money goes into supporting the anime industry as much as possible and whatnot, and that's becoming less and less apparent, as especially with this, because not only do they started hosting like their own expo that gets bigger and bigger and more expensive every year, but they've also now they've also wasted a few million on this series and whatnot, so that they're producing. So a lot of people are upset, and they're just like, well, you know what? If my money isn't even going to supporting the industry, it's like, what the hell? What the hell is this about? So yeah. And then there's also arguments that I don't want to get into regarding like diversity of the cast and the writers and everything. I don't.
That's the controversy I was that I knew about. So
okay, I don't even want to necessarily get into that. I want to get into more of like the whole like ways to support the industry type thing.
So I mean, obviously, I've mentioned before, anime is really something I'm too into, but like, I don't. Why are people? I maybe like it's something that's over my head, but like I don't get being upset over an art style, because I mean, how can I mean, I get there's like a anime like you kind of similar, but like it kind like anime isn't like a style of isn't an art style necessarily, and so I don't know, I just like I don't
Yeah, it's like
it is kind of like I don't know, I won't get being upset over how something looks. It's just because just off like still. Did they release like a sneak peek of like the show itself, or
we have a poster detailing the art style.
okay, I have it looked up on Google, and like I mean, like I said, for me it looks like something I would out there like, oh yeah, that's an anime show that I'd see. So
Yeah.
and like so I don't know, I don't get the whole controversy of it, but like I said, the whole Steven Universe thing, like have you watched Steven Universe?
No, I haven't. But like one of the,
Okay.
okay, so it's like one of the big staples of anime at least is that it's produced in Japan type thing.
sure.
And this isn't. And so it's like that's another big thing too. So it's like, can we really call it anime? It's just like Avatar: The Last Airbender isn't actually technically considered anime because it was from South Korea.
Yeah, and
So-
I know I've seen this right before. Like it kind of like the anime is kind of like maybe getting a little more blurred, like what is and what isn't anime. Because like I haven't seen it, but like a lot of people consider the Netflix Castlevania show to be an anime, but that is not produced in Japan either. But that obviously has very heavy anime influence.
Yeah.
So.
But what to you makes that anime the thing? See, to me, it's kind of like a mixture of the art, the way it's directed, and also where it's produced. So it's got to tick all three boxes for me in order to be anime. That's just my personal thing. And it's, to me, this Hungarian Spice looks like a Nino Kunai, to be honest.
Okay.
It looks quite a lot like that, actually.
Okay.
Where did I have it?
All right, Andrew.
So, and
Andrew, or sorry,
with it
Anthony.
not being, that's all good. With it not being produced in Japan, that's it doesn't make it anime in my opinion. But anyway,
Anthony, or I'm sorry, Andrew. What are your thinking here?
You guys want some wine and cheese with your anime? Like, geez, how big a snobs you gotta be? Like, this looks just like this looks like anime.
I
haven't
haven't say that.
You see, I haven't even personally raised an issue with it, like with the art style. Okay. Yeah, it's
he's
like,
just,
I haven't
he's
personally
just
raised
yelling
an
to
issue
the
with art style.
void.
Yeah.
No, I think it. Like, I clicked the link in the chat. I think it looks like anime to me. I understand the whole if it's not made in Japan thing, is it technically anime? And maybe it is, maybe it's not. But like, I don't know. Like, there's subgenres of everything nowadays, right?
Exactly.
You know, so
Yeah.
just because it's not made somewhere, it doesn't make it better than something else that's not made there.
It's like
No.
and it's like
I'm not saying
technically
that makes it
Ghibli.
better,
Like, you know,
but
Studio
well,
Ghibli.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like technically Ghibli doesn't even like to be considered anime. Like
Like that.
yeah,
Yeah, that looks
they don't
doesn't like.
they don't like to be considered anime.
Well, I mean, that's their opinion and what they're making, and if
Right.
they
I
don't
mean-
consider themselves. You know, if you're not classifying yourself as something, then
Right.
you know,
Yes.
you can get put in those boxes by other people. We're like, oh, we don't consider it because of these reasons.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
And then I was gonna say, as far as like the whole like people are mad at Crunchyroll for not supporting the industry.
Uh-huh.
Are they not the whole? They're part of the industry. They are
Right.
like, the huge industry in the United States, and giving them
Yeah.
taking money. Like, first of all, running this massive business that's
Yeah.
people would have a way harder time to find these shows and stuff
Uh-huh.
like that if they weren't around.
And the
So,
thing
like,
is too is like
yeah.
as much as I want to be mad at this and everything, it's like to me, the whole argument of like them not supporting the industry doesn't even hold water because Crunchyroll has co-produced over 50 other anime series with
Yeah.
studios in
And-
Japan, and some of
and-
them are pretty big names also.
And
So
just
you-
like
you think they
Crunchyroll as a service, it lets it gives the platform to anime that that wouldn't have this platform anywhere else. Like it allows an international audience to view them, which
Right.
that alone supports the
Is
anime
massive.
industry.
Yeah.
And
They are-
how does producing an item
What-
count as not supporting it? I don't understand that.
What's up?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Like how can people say that they're not supporting the industry because they're making their own show?
Right, and that's
Well, they're
exactly what I'm
supporting the
personally
industry by
arguing.
Giving people
Yeah.
more content. Like,
Yeah,
what's the problem?
That's what I'm
Yeah.
personally arguing is just like
Yeah.
the argument that people have. It's like, oh well, our money is going to waste or whatever. I'm just gonna sail the seven seas to watch my anime and just like
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and like
it's just like okay, Crunchyroll has co-produced over 50 other series with like no name
Yeah.
studios before and whatnot. To be entirely fair, also, although a bulk of the production for High Guardian Spice was done in the U.S. and in other countries, they did have a studio in Japan that had a lot of creative influence over it. Okay, and so it's just like this whole argument and like this whole storm to me doesn't make a whole lot of sense when you get into the nitty-gritty details.
yeah.
So it's
Like-
like
This looks like a show, like, I mean, just based off this one image, like, I don't think, and it would work on any other platform besides
Crunchyroll. Yeah.
Crunchyroll, because, I mean, there's just a whole generation of, like, going back to whole Steven Universe, like, there's a whole generation of people who are inspired by these animes that they watch in the 90s, like Sailor Moon or Dragon Ball, and, like,
Oh yeah.
they're using that influence onto their shows.
Hmm.
And I mean, I'm gonna just like it is kind of like it's something I noticed because I do follow the animation like world a lot. Cause like I like a lot of animated products. Like, oh, there's been this weird argument lately where people, specifically like adults, like I don't want to like I mean, because like I'm a grown adult who watches cartoons too, but like they're complaining that an art style looks like when it doesn't look, it looks like too childish in a way,
Uh-huh.
which
Sure.
is like this weird because like most of the time like with some exceptions like animated shows are essentially made for kids
Yeah.
and so I mean and also art style like doesn't really dictate the quality of a show.
Yeah.
Obviously animation quality is something to do with it, but
Right.
it like what about the writing or the voice talent behind it or the stories like
Right.
I don't know, this is weird trend I know where people are criticizing just based off like still images or just like based off what they don't like the character design of
Uh-huh.
something.
And it's
Sure.
like it hits off a lot of like, all right, it hits off a lot of like common like tropes that anime has typically. So it's like it's about high school girls, okay? It's about like it's like a coming of age story for high school girls that want to be like guardians of their land or something, okay? It seems kind of cute. I'll give it that. Like I'll give it that, And it's just like I think a bigger issue with it, or it's like why a storm brewed around it, was that Crunchyroll didn't market it at first properly. Because like they only released this other info about it, like it's about high school girls and everything after this whole storm, or it's like while the storm was going on, and it wasn't part of the
yeah,
initial release for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Is it I don't know if like but is it like that is it gonna be like the magical girl anime? Like is that what it's supposed to is that what it's gonna be
I
like
don't think
kinda?
no, I don't think it's gonna be Magical Girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I say like that I mean because like that's obviously like one of the most famous
Right.
anime subgenres. So
Right.
but like I said, like I'm like this is kind of a conversation I'm a little out of my element in because of someone who doesn't really invest in anime, but like it's just like I don't know. I never get like there's a weird amount of outrage I know it's like in animation in general, like
Yeah.
over things like art style
Yeah.
and like from what and like I mean like I do know a little bit about the other genre too, like so like I feel like that like the behind the scenes talent kinda is influencing a bit, but we don't need to go that too deep into that. But
Right.
I don't know, it's I don't really see like where all this anger is coming from on my end.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I think Andrew put it the best. It's like it's really just comes down to a bunch of people being snobby about it.
Yeah.
That's honestly what it is. You know?
Mhm.
Enjoy things, guys.
Right. It's like
And if you don't need to watch it.
right, exactly. It's like, just don't watch it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
There's like a million other things you can watch.
there's literally like there's so many other things you can do with your time. Like I don't know. If I
There's a lot of anime
Go
out there.
play golf.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like I don't know. If I enjoy my time
that.
watching High Guardian, I will spend the time to watch High Guardian. If you don't enjoy
Yeah.
your time watching it, spend your time doing something else, man.
Go
Like
catch your Bleach that's like 1,000 episodes in. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
Right. It's like
Some things just aren't going to be made for you. Like this is obviously has a I mean that doesn't mean like other people who aren't in that target audience can watch, but this is obviously targeted to a specific audience like any show is.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, that's like the latest thing in anime news. Yeah, Anthony, any last thoughts or no?
Not really, no. I
Okay.
mean, it's not even but it's more of like a thing where I don't see it, if it's not made in Japan, then I don't really see that as an anime, but that's just my own personal opinion.
Okay.
So
Okay.
if people don't agree with it, then stiff.
We're all entitled to our opinions.
Yeah.
Precisely.
Yeah. And it's
Just
like
don't be mean about it.
there's technically nothing
guys.
that legally binds Crunchyroll or anything from only having anime on their site or like things made in
No.
Japan on their
Wow,
site.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like there's nothing in like Crunchyroll's like subscription service that says, "Hey, we'll only provide anime."
Well, when the first thing that's not anime pops up on there, people are gonna be pissed.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, like original content, like that just makes make your own original content just makes it more valuable as a property. Like,
Mhm.
Is this the
It's why,
first
like-
original thing?
It is the first like Crunchyroll original thing. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
yeah, like it's like the whole Netflix thing. Like, as soon as like it's not because like I mean licenses with companies can go away at any time.
Right.
But like if you have your own original produced work, like that just gives it more value because it's something that's always going to be on that platform.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time
Yeah.
before they did something like this.
All right. So yeah, Anthony, what games are releasing this next week? Let's talk about games again.
Well, this week we actually the Games with Gold stuff announced. So it's a bit of a different one this week.
All right, cool.
Now, because PlayStation or so Sony's weird, they don't release their stuff till the 31st of August. It's August this month.
Okay.
So we have yet to get stuff from them. But for this month's Games with Gold, we have Horizon 2, which is going to be, obviously, if you pay for it, then it's free on the Xbox One. You got For Honor as well, which is already free for PC.
Hey.
You got Epic Mickey 2, The Power of Two, which is also coming as well.
Was that game
And
any
you
good?
I liked it.
Okay.
I liked it.
I did not like the first one.
Okay.
It is. I mean, I don't want to say I didn't like it, but it is a game with a lot of potential that I
Yeah.
was very excited for. That did not meet that potential. I
Oh.
did not play the sequel, so I can't comment on that one. But
Fair enough.
Andrew, have you played it at all? Nope.
Nah, I haven't played it ever.
Okay.
I played them on PSP.
All right.
The best way to play it, I'm sure.
All right. Anyway.
And Dead Space 3 is also going to
Finally.
Xbox as well.
oh,
As you're
That's
all
a
probably
bummer.
aware-
What a bummer.
Why? What?
like, hey, just have all these bad sequels. Cool.
Dead Space 3 isn't
Alright.
bad.
Bad.
Oh, here we
It's
go. Here we
bad.
go.
It's
Here we
not.
go.
Like it's a little disappointing because
A little disappointing.
Really quick,
I
Anthony,
mean,
are
Just
you
a
done?
little.
Anthony, are you
I
done?
wish they made a horror game. Like I wish they made it a horror, but it's not. I mean,
It's
it,
pretty
I,
bad.
I liked it. I miss. Dead
Okay,
Space.
for PlayStation, which we are all probably aware of, for this month, which is already out for August, you have Mafia 3 available, Dead by Daylight, Bound by Flame, Serious Sam, BFE, Drew Flasher, whatever the heck that is, Space Hulk, Here They Lie, and Knowledge is Power. They're currently available on PlayStation 4, and September's have yet to be announced, so we don't know for them, and that's it for me.
All right.
Short, easy one this week.
Yeah. All right. So you guys want to keep talking about how bad Dead Space 3 is, or no? You good?
Nah.
Okay.
You just said how bad. You already answered my questions. Everyone's bad.
It's not as good as the others in the series. But I will say that.
I played the hell out of Dead Space 2, but I honestly never touched
Look,
3.
Okay,
You
don't-
gotta
you
give
don't
it
need to play
respect.
You don't need to play it.
What's
Yeah.
up?
You gotta give it respect because Visceral died, so...
I am so
Visceral
like,
died for this? Okay.
No, I mean
Exactly.
they didn't die for like
They
I.
didn't want that game to be in that state. I'm pretty sure. So
Yeah, I'm sad because we're probably never going to get another Dead Space game.
Never say never. We're getting a Windjammers 2. Can you believe that? I
Well,
forgot
that was
about
nice.
that. Windjammers
Yeah.
2's coming, dude. Oh
What is
boy,
that?
I'm
I
excited.
mean, Windjammers just
Go
had a
download
weird.
Windjammers right now. It's like $15. It's a frisbee game. It's fantastic. You'll love it. It's a great couch co-op game. It's
The whole
best.
story about Windjammers is so like that's such a wild story. Just it's revival.
Yeah, Windjammers. But it's very good. Basically, giant bomb wield Windjammers into happening, and now it's
Yeah.
Windjammers 2.
Now it's getting a sequel.
Okay.
So cool. It's so wild. So yeah, in a world where Windjammers 2 exists, anything is possible.
All right.
Fine, we're just let's
so-
constantly bring up Dead Space on this podcast, and maybe
All
As
right.
long
get a
as
Dead Space
you bring up
reboot.
Dead Space 1 and 2, not
that's fine. No, I want it to be a horror game.
Unless I've missed questions, I don't see anyone asking any questions. Unless chat wants to get their stuff in really quick, you guys will have about another 10 to 15 minutes or so as we discuss this next thing. Get your last minute questions in to get you entered into the giveaway for August, which is, as we said earlier in the show, the what is it, like 25 or 20?
$20.
20.
$20 eShop card for Nintendo. So ask us questions, preferably in the Twitch chat right now. Okay, and then we will answer them, and you will get entered, okay? And then at the end of this little thing, we'll draw it, okay? Or pick it. All right, anyway, so as we wait for those questions to roll in, we got a little free time here. Is the Switch supposed to be more of a one-per-person or one-per-home device? This question comes inspired by the news, actually, of Diablo 3 on the Switch, because that stemmed into the discussion of, it's like we're getting a lot of more, like, grown-up games on the Switch. And it's like, it's like the Switch definitely seems like Nintendo's least marketed console to kids.
Yeah.
Seems to be.
So,
I think it
Go ahead.
both.
Andrew, let's hear from you first.
I say one per person.
Okay.
As someone who has a Switch and who never plugs in their TV,
Yeah.
like rarely, if I ever plug it in my TV, perfect game just to be like, I'm just gonna sit on my couch and play this and then put it away. And if it's cool for me, because I mean I don't have kids and I don't have like a family, so it's hard for me to say exactly.
Right.
But
Yep.
if that was the case, if I had kids and it'd be like, hey, share the Switch.
With your brother Billy.
Yeah, or like, you could play it like, with multiple controllers and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that. So that kind of has the argument there.
Yeah.
But like, if they want to both play Fortnite or whatever,
Oh man. Brutal.
yeah, exactly. Like,
Tell them to play it on the phone. Tell them
that's
someone to
true
play it on the
though.
phone.
You could have one playing there. That's such a weird game. So I don't know. It's interesting. I feel it's more for me. It's like a portable device because I don't plug it in.
Yeah.
So and portables to me are always like a one per person. Obviously, you can just let someone borrow it or whatever. But
Right.
that's
Fair
All right.
enough.
Anthony, what's your hot take?
The Billy point got me. Poor Billy, he doesn't get to. I don't know. Anyway, it's more one per person, I reckon, because it's like made to be portable. It's like saying that is a 3DS like a family console or one per person kind of thing.
Yeah.
and it's more like 90, probably a good chunk of the time spent on a Switch is spent like on a bus or in a car or whatever,
Yeah.
playing single stuff on your own. So I see it as more as like a single player experience. It's a very expensive single player experience, but it seems to do the job.
Okay. Aidan.
Yeah, kind of going off what this says, it just really depends on how you use it. I mostly, like everyone, like I think the majority of people mostly play it portably, even when I'm home. Like I do dock it sometimes just because I want to see it on the big screen, but there are some games where it is gonna be like, it just also depends on the game. Like like when Smash comes out, like that's obviously gonna play it. Like, I mean, who knows, maybe that you can play it with like a Switch, like you can do the 3DS thing and just play it like for the controller. I don't know how technology works, but that's gonna be a thing where like you can have like up to 8 people playing on one device. The only thing is like a one per person. That's a like Anthony said, that's a very expensive portable device. Like $300 is not a lot, is not cheap to drop on multiple systems, especially if you have a family.
Right.
But I mean, Nintendo did make that whole like dockless bundle in
Japan.
As in Japan.
yeah, in Japan only. Like I totally see that coming here, but I
God, that's such a good idea.
like it. Yeah, it just, I don't know. It just depends on how you use it or what you buy the Switch for. Like, if you are gonna be like, if you're gonna just buy just a handheld, like maybe it is one per person. But like, if you're gonna buy it, I don't really see you buying multiple Switches for your family. Because if you're gonna do that, I would I think it'd be smarter just to buy multiple 3DSs. Because I mean, they're cheaper and you can. There's a whole great library on that game. So while it is like mostly like made to be portable, I do see Switch as a console for like that you like, even though it's mostly not played in the TV and like you don't really, not unless sometimes you see people buy more than one console, but it's not something that's necessarily very common.
If you got two kids, Billy and Bobby, then they can share.
They can play Mario Kart together. Like I don't
on the screen. Yeah, I think it's super duper dependent on the age.
Yeah,
and we definitely seen like it's like we definitely seen Nintendo market the Switch more towards people. We're all around the same age here. It's like definitely more towards us type thing, as opposed to like a family home console like the Wii and Wii U was. Well, I say the Wii U had marketing is a little bit of a stretch, but you get the point. Yeah, and so it's like I think it's like I don't know if you're like a dad or something, whatever, and it's like gonna buy the Switch for the family, then. Or it's like he's gonna buy a Switch or whatever. It's functions more as a family console. Like it's probably not gonna leave the dock, and it's like it's gonna be those shared experiences. It's like you're gonna be playing Mario co-op with your kids or something.
Yeah.
Right. As opposed to me, it's like obviously don't have kids or like a family who's interested in video games all that much, and so it's just like it's personally for me. It's just stay in the portal mode. I'm gonna be playing like Diablo on the train or something or on the bus. Yeah. It's like
Yeah, like Ruru2 put in the PC Master Race, man.
Yeah.
You gotta do that.
Yeah,
So like that's the thing. If you have another console, that's where like the Switch comes in as being a one per person thing, because I already have this PS4, I already have this Xbox hooked up to the TV, and they can do their thing on there. So if you have the income and you're like, well, I guess it's time to get the Switch. I don't know.
Yeah.
You could share it, I guess. But if when you're on a trip, like your kids are gonna fight over who's gonna be playing the games.
Right.
So at that point, you either say, you know what, I'll take the Switch. You can have my Vita, and you can have my old 3DS.
I wouldn't give my child a Vita.
Oh, I would.
Wow.
No, those things are like expensive.
Oh, okay.
They're $250. They're only $250.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, I was gonna I'd be fine with giving a 3DS since like those things are cheap, and like the 2DS is like actually like surprisingly durable.
Yeah.
But, I wouldn't give my 5-year-old like a Switch. Just like here you go.
Oh, I guess what's that thing they always say? Is it like the Fire? It comes in like the Fire Kindle thing. Ooh, it comes in like that big blue like thing that's indestructible. I guess that's what everyone just gets now, and you can just hack it, get Fortnite on there. I'm sure.
Billy can have his phone and Bobby can have the tablet.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. I mean,
right.
Oh,
it's like I agree with everyone here. It's just like, if it's like it's steep for like if you have like 2 kids, it's steep to buy them both a $300 portable console.
Yeah.
Just buy them a 3DS and be done with it, or alternatively just have a Switch for the family that never really
Yeah,
leaves the
they can
dock.
start off. They can
Yeah.
start off with the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, there we
They can
go.
move on
Have
from
them-
Yeah.
Have them trying to
The
work.
problem-
this-
Yeah.
issue with
This-
Switch is not the apps that everything else has, so it's like
No,
Hmm.
the Switch has like a lot of multiplayer games that like
Oh,
you can
yeah, yeah.
play. So like, I mean, it's gonna have even more this in the coming months with Mario Party and, Smash
Andrew's
Ultimate. And, like,
favorite game.
dude, I don't even understand how people are willing to buy multiple controllers for the Switch. They're so expensive.
I know.
Joy-Cons are like $80.
I know.
no,
And the Pro controller is like 70. I'm like, what are they doing? Why would they do this?
it's that HD Rumble. I hate myself because I am going to. It's not even like I want to. Like at this point, I'm going to buy another set of Joy-Cons for when Smash comes out, and I'm gonna buy. Like I already know which ones I want to buy too, because I'm gonna buy the pink and green one. I already have the red and blue, so I have
You're
one
part
of
of
each
the problem.
color.
You're part of the problem.
No,
Just
it's
like Taylor
Nintendo.
is buying $80 worth of loot boxes.
Nintendo is the problem for making
Hey, that
so
is
many.
totally different, man. No. that is
No.
totally-
Yeah,
Never.
Nintendo's the problem for making so many like cool looking Joy Cons. Like
They're
there's
just
like,
colored. They're just colored.
but
I know there's colors.
they're more than that.
Paint them yourself.
I mean,
Richie, I suppose where it's at precisely.
they don't serve games.
I mean-
Yeah, you're right. I mean,
Yep.
if
Oh, no.
I was a kid and I played a lot of games, so I mean, can't be too mad.
Yeah, PS4 and Xbox controllers aren't that much
Dude, you
much
can
cheaper.
get them on sale for like $40, $50
That's
bucks.
true.
Yeah.
You can
Most
get
of
them
the
from Wish for like $5. Come on,
Right. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, I don't
it
really
don't
use that.
work.
I don't know what that is.
Sorry, but
I assume Australian Goodwill.
no, Wish is like this big
No.
website that's like written in China, and it's
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
everything's China, and it's like one of their pictures was a Xbox One with a PS4 controller. and a
Amiibo or
Nintendo
Nintendo's loot
Switch
boxes?
Something.
I think that's a pretty hot
what?
take right there. Amiibo
Amiibo
or
or-
Nintendo's loot boxes.
I don't know. They're like their lame DLC content. That
Yeah,
doesn't
they
do
are.
anything.
I get the words like DLC.
Yeah.
Where they think
Only it's real life DLC.
physical
It's
DLC.
physical DLC, man. It's the new wave of DLC.
It's transcended.
I thought
Alright.
we moved out of physical to go to digital.
A digital
back
amiibo. It's
It
just
all
like
comes
um,
back around.
Yeah.
The
Digital
all
amiibo.
digital future.
History
Whoa.
repeats itself.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, okay. That I think we
Although I want to remind everybody that I have my Switch and I am enjoying Dead Cells on Switch. So if you ask a question in the chat, you're able to win the $20 gift card to the Nintendo eShop. Then you're going to spend it on Dead Cells. You're going to have a good
Yeah,
time.
Precisely.
Get your questions in, and
Go
you
buy
can
Dead
win
Cells.
that.
yeah did that.
You're essentially winning Dead Cells. You're not
Yeah,
winning
exactly.
a gift card.
Yeah.
You're winning a
That's-
free
that's
copy
the
of Dead
thing.
Cells.
You have
Assuming
to
that
buy Dead
game
Cells with that
genre
money.
and everything appeals
Yeah.
to you and whatnot, and
No,
it seems like
no,
you
we're
sign
not
it,
have to buy
like,
Dead Cells with that
You
money.
sign it. You have to sign it like a legally binding.
Oh, okay.
Dead
But-
Cells or you don't get it. Sorry, guys.
But yeah, it's like I remember a few months ago, Nintendo basically came out and said like, "Oh yeah, it's like we kind of want to market the. It's like we don't think we've been successful in marketing the Switch as a one per person console,
Mhm,
as it's come
yeah.
off more as a one per home device, which I thought was fair. And it's like,
Yeah.
the one thing that I do want to call out is I remember during like the latest Smash Direct we had like the lady just having a Switch in her purse that she had the earbuds plugged into.
Oh my god, that was my favorite.
Yeah.
I would do that. I would do that too, though.
What are you
'Cause I
gonna
would
put
listen.
it in?
I have my backpack or
It's
something.
not-
I don't know.
I mean,
No,
you
not
like
my backpack.
long-ass
Wire-
earbuds.
Yeah, like wire.
Oh no, you get you get a Bluetooth headphones. That's.
Do they work with this?
That's hip.
I
yeah.
don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Steel
see, there
Series
you
has
go.
wireless headphones that do that.
So
Oh,
I
really?
would listen
Yeah.
to all that music, but I kind of when you mention that, I think it kind of goes back to the point of like, what exactly is the Switch though? Like, I mean, we all have our feelings of what it is, but like, is it a console that's meant that you can take on the go, or is it a handheld that you can plug into your TV? And that
It's
distinction
both.
kind of determines like how Nintendo's gonna market it. Like, if it's a handheld system, like then they want to market as like at one per person. But if
Right.
it's a console they can take on the go, then like I said, people usually don't buy more than one consoles per home.
Yeah, I think that's
Question that'll never be answered.
I think that statement was actually like really telling by Nintendo when they said it or whatever. Just like,
Yeah.
um,
Switch is a dumb phone.
I mean, Maybe
I mean,
WhatsApp will eventually get onto it or something. But
I hope so.
yeah,
Just
it's
imagine
like,
having this switch up to your face like a phone.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah.
That'd be
Yeah.
so sick. I guess that's the way we were going there for a little bit.
Sony wanted to go that way with the PSP actually. You guys
And,
remember
like,
that?
the 3G version?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
they got a contract up with AT&T to do a 3G version of a PSP.
No one bought that thing though. That
I
thing-
remember the Xperia Play.
Yes.
Well, they did it with the Vita.
I do,
They put
the
a
Xperia Play.
Yeah, yeah,
SIM
yeah.
card in the Vita.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, the 3G version, the Vita. And
Oh
the
yeah, it
N-Gage.
was the Vita.
Or the
Okay.
Yeah.
N-Gage, the N-Gage.
I'm gonna be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah.
I could see the Switch doing a 3G version, so you can
They're
play
not gonna
games
do
like
They're
it's
not
like it's totally far off, but like games like Fortnite that are online required, or like if Overwatch ever comes, like they essentially like I said, I don't. It's not something I like.
I think
say
They
like
don't
it's-
even
so
have
many-
a. They don't even have a wireless. You can't even plug in an Ethernet cable without like buying an adapter. for
Right.
it.
I think like
Like-
so many places like that you'll sit and play a game like Fortnite on with your Switch in handheld mode are gonna have Wi-Fi that it's kind
True.
of that's kind of a moot point. Yeah,
Also, yeah,
just like-
Wi-Fi
Well,
is
I
so
mean-
much better and like in more places nowadays.
And it's
Yeah.
like if all you
For the
need to
most
do
part,
is
that-
play Fortnite or something, you don't need that good of a connection, TBH. Like,
Oh, I don't know about that. It's pretty.
Well, you need better than what Macca's can give you.
okay.
Fortnite on Switch is not great. Like,
Okay.
you lag a lot.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like Fortnite on Switch.
No, I like it. I play it, but because it's just like junk food, you know. Like I've been saying, it's like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
you can just turn it on, play it, nothing matters, it feels
Oh, yeah.
good, and then you're done with it. You throw it away.
It's like
Yeah.
Dead Cells in that way. You can just like play like a match or two, and then like
Did we get a
While you're
paid
killing time.
sponsorship I don't know about
What's that for Fortnite?
for Dead Cells?
no, yeah, we have
Oh.
to say 2 more times.
Okay.
Yes.
and-
Like, hold on.
Dead Cells, done.
Man, screw Philip Mewson for plagiarizing his Dead Cells review.
Yeah,
I
you
guess
can read my Dead Cells review. It is 100% my thoughts.
It's original.
Over on cultureofgaming.com. All right, so
Yes.
that's our cutoff point for the giveaway. Okay, I'm ending it here. So, who won the giveaway, Anthony?
Run the numbers.
Run the numbers. Well,
Crunch 'em.
Crunch, crunch,
Yeah.
crunch.
Crunch. So our winner for this month's giveaway is he's been on the podcast a couple of times. Matt.
Oh,
He's
okay. He's
on to
gonna
it.
really enjoy that actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Tell
Good
me
job,
about
Matt.
Dead Cells.
Yeah, you can go and buy Dead Cells. There you go. There's
Okay.
our
Yeah,
plug
buy
for
Dead
that.
Cells.
Okay.
Seriously. It's like
Get on
now
it.
he only has $5 for Dead Cells.
25. True.
So good.
Silence.
just it's just like I don't know. I've had my mouse over the buy button of Dead Cells so many times, like the past week on Steam.
Do it. Do it.
And
It's like,
like-
no, buy it. It's like the perfect combination
And
of
it's like it's
like-
a platforming game. I'm very picky
Yeah.
of my platforming games. Like
oh my god, it's
pretty
so
much
good.
Metroid and pretty much Ori. That about does it for platforming for me.
It's like
Right?
the it's like a combination
Wait,
of like Metroid.
platforming?
There is
It's
platforming.
It's
in it.
very little platforming in it, I'll be honest. It's
Oh.
more about of understanding of like when to get, like jump out of the way.
Is it
and then
Yeah.
up, or, like,
Understanding
go
enemy
down.
enemy.
is it Shovel
Yeah.
Knight-esque at all?
No, no,
No.
Okay.
It's like a combination of like just like at the broadest terms, just like take like Metroid, Rogue Legacy, and Dark Souls, just like kind of like mix them up in
had a
one.
kid. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Keep
there's
from
like
my friend Pedro.
there's obviously like things like it's like the combat's like kind of Dark Souls esque when you have to like learn the enemy's patterns and like moves and like when to attack and not and like okay. But we already talked about that in the beginning of the podcast.
Hey,
Let's
Jake-
talk about my friend Pedro. Come on.
But that game's not out yet, is it?
No, but I saw Jacksepticeye play, and it looks awesome. Looks so
Dude,
good.
my friend Pedro looks real cool. Yeah.
It does. It's
Like
like,
that
Hotline Miami-esque.
skateboard one, right? Where you're like,
No,
Oh,
no,
I guess
so
you
you're
could be on a skateboard, I think.
you're a dude, and then one of your friends is like a banana, and he tells you what to do, and then you
I don't
gotta
know.
escape from.
Pretty sure this is the one I've seen.
You gotta escape from like because you're locked up or something, and then you gotta escape, and you get guns.
Yeah, yeah,
and you can
okay.
slow down
Yeah.
time and all that stuff.
This is the one
It's
I've
platforming.
It looks very cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. You won Dead Cells for Nintendo Switch.
Oh my god. I've already
so
told
make
him what he
sure-
actually won.
What if he already what if he already owns Dead Cells?
No.
Let's
Yeah.
go win.
He's my man, and he's cool with me.
I mean, yeah,
God.
that he probably owns. Let's just assume he's a good gamer and owns Dead Cells.
Okay.
good person.
You know what? I spent too much money on Overwatch loot boxes to.
Yeah, you're spending way too much money on Overwatch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would
That
you
I
do
can't
that?
afford. Yeah.
And you
That's
could have
like
bought Dead Cells.
130 here. That's insane.
Well, you see, that's
When
what they're advocating for.
Yeah, you have no
there,
choice. You
G-Man
have to
Films.
get
What if
Dead
I
Cells
get
with
Dead
it.
Cells?
Can you
with
like
it?
just name this
That's
episode
yeah, it's
like
fine.
have Dead Cells in the title?
It's gonna be like D space E space. Yeah, I'll
Like-
do that. Yeah.
Just that was like brought to you by Dead Cells.
Although we are not sponsored by Dead Cells by any.
Are you sure
No, we are
about
not
that?
at all.
Are you sure about
No.
that? Are you sure we're not
That's
sponsored
fine.
by
In
Dead
time
Cells?
frame.
I would love to
Video
be
is
sponsored by
dynamic.
Dead
Yeah.
Cells.
Yeah. Okay.
But that game is so good, it doesn't need to be sponsored by us because it's that good.
We should pay. We need to be paying them.
You know what?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I already did. I paid them to play their game. So,
The joke is I didn't pay.
well,
But
yeah, they get review copies. Yeah,
yeah, so
that's
they
how it goes.
technically
supposed to be
they
winning
technically
bills.
spent money on me, paid me to play it in a way.
So I guess that's our recommendation of the week, so to speak. Go play Dead Cells. Okay.
It's, yes.
Or Snow.
2 out of
Snow's
4
good
people.
too.
Okay.
If you have a PC, you can go play that.
Or Ocarina of Time.
Oh, yeah.
Or literally
Hey, man.
any other past game.
Just go play some video games. Doesn't matter what
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
long as they're not like Dead Space 3 or Assassin's Creed 3, you can play any game you want.
Come on.
Or Epic Mickey.
Two.
Uh,
Or
on.
Midget
you
two.
can play Epic
It's
Mickey.
2 against.
Oh man.
Yeah, go play some games, man.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
you
know
know we're
what?
running long when we just go off the rails like this.
Right. You know what? Yeah, everyone
Aidan.
go play some games. Go enjoy yourselves. I'm pretty sure we broke the length record that was reset on Wednesday again.
Did we really? Oh
Yup.
no.
Yep.
Look, come on. That's Gamescom. We can do that once. Back to normal next week. Unless, of course, Aiden's on again.
We did not nearly kill enough time with the
See,
Gamescom
no.
wrap-up segment this time to justify the
Barely talked
severe
about Gamescom.
over length that
See,
we've gone.
The thing is, I'm not on all the time, so I overcompensate when I am on. So the solution is obviously just have me more
Cool.
every week, and
Well,
then
I
I'll
can't
talk
actually
progressively
believe that
talk
bot worked.
less.
Okay. Sorry.
Eh.
I can't actually believe that bot worked. But yeah.
Oh, wow, it works.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, do you want all this discussion really makes me want to go play my Switch? Okay, I have some
Yeah.
Octopath to go play. So you know what? I'm gonna go
Wrong
do
game.
that.
Wrong
And
game.
yeah, I think we're doing sick.
Octopath is a good game.
It is, yeah.
But not the game.
No, it's not the hot game of the month. The hot game of the yeah. So you know what? Yeah.
I mean, it was the #1 best-selling game of July, so
Right.
Game of the week.
But this
Dead
is
Cells.
August.
Do it.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go play some Octopath.
Snake.
I don't know what these guys are gonna be playing, but probably
I'm probably
Dead
gonna play
Cells
Octopath.
actually. But
Dead
yeah.
Cells. Yep. for
I'm
sure.
probably play Octopath just because I don't want to like get out my PS4 and
Neglect it.
TV.
Oh, okay. All right. So anyway, thank
Fair
you
enough.
guys very much for watching. Make sure you guys tune in next week. Same good time, same good place. We will see you all next time.